am a classy person.
Yeah, sometimes. So I have to clear my throat to like avoid having coughing fits and stuff.
Hmm.
And sometimes I forget to mute the mic when the music goes on, and then I usually end up deleting those VODs because I'm just like, I don't want somebody to just listen to me having a coughing fit at the beginning of this video.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
I understand
it's
that.
like
I understand that
there's two and a
entirely.
half hours of great stuff in here, but because it opened with a coughing fit, I'm just like, nope,
And I
nope.
can't edit that VOG down,
Yeah, you can't.
so
Yeah, I don't have. Yeah, like YouTube doesn't really let you do that easily.
no. I think Twitch. I mean,
But
I
okay,
can.
yeah, that's the thing is I have to edit it in two places then also.
Yeah, no, that would suck. That
It's
would
just like
suck.
the amount of extra work that would go into it. It's like I don't have the staff. Like that's the sort of stuff I should be able to delegate, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Mother of Kobolds has resubscribed for 11 months. Thank you very much indeed. You're very welcome here.
Twitch.tv/ZombieCleo. For those of you who want to know who that person is in the background talking.
Hi!
Hi, that's ZombieCleo. We've got two different people that are going to be guests on the stream today, or co-hosts, or joint streamers, or whatever. We've got ZombieCleo in the morning, and we've got Badger Spanner in
Oh,
the afternoon, who are two distinct people, even
they
though
are
you never see them at the same
different
time.
people. They are genuinely different people.
Yeah. No, I've seen people
Although, to be
theorizing
fair,
that you are her, but you just didn't want to do a face reveal, so you created a different persona.
no, Badger's got musical ability. I don't.
Two different people. So, yes.
Different people. Do not confuse us.
No.
Although we are both British, and therefore that makes us the same, aren't they?
So, yeah, we were.
Badger is the one that didn't get to experience the heat wave
Yeah.
because they were in
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Okay, so where's the
So
Clio window here? I feel like I had a Clio window somewhere in the
I
scene.
I keep on trying to make a Joe Hill's like tiny window,
Uh huh.
and then it defaults. But like, did you want to make this a big window? And I'm like, no, I want a tiny Joe Hill's window,
Oh,
so I can see what Joe is doing.
there we go. I think I got it.
And okay, weird, but fine.
What?
Um, no, just people being in my like. You ever have those things where it's just like, that's weird. I don't know how to
Constantly.
respond. I don't know how to respond to that, so I'm gonna let it go because you said nothing explicitly bad. But I'm just like, huh, that's weird. I'm gonna watch that. Um,
Oh, I think I see the one. I would have just timed that person out. I would have just gotten like,
yeah.
if
I
it.
mean, I find that difficult to do
Oh,
because of the way my system is
oh,
working.
gotcha. Yeah, my system is brutal. I'm
Um,
I have my
oh no, no, I
coffee
can
here.
actually do this. There you go. There you go. It's because none of my mods have strolled in yet, so
Yeah.
that's fine. Um,
Yeah, I'm just taking care of my own thing. Oh, hey, we got some nice happy birthday wishes. Thank you.
yes.
Where's Ziggy, Sergeant Skittles, Eloquent or Not, Luke, Chris Walker, Plant Pal Finn, Wheezy Watcher, Panpipid, Kindleus, 1100 it looks like. I'm terrible with Roman numerals. Kit Kat, 40,004, Jackson Stars, Winter 83, and Aoki Yamato 97, and the Glitternet from the
Yeah.
Twitch chat. YouTube
Hmm.
chat got a lot of people rolling in with well wishes as well. Thank you, Angel Cutie. I like that it's not just an angel or an angel cutie. It's an angel cutie.
Angel cutie. It's the
Yeah,
angel of angels. Yeah,
yeah. Like
I see that.
any celestial being can be an angel, but to hit angel, that's a big
That's a
deal.
special kind of angel.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it's a Wonderful
yeah.
Life. They could only aspire to
Well,
reach
it's
that
it's
level.
like how they do those real angels are the ones with the multiple wings and many
Yeah,
eyes.
100 eyes.
And what
Yeah,
it's a case of when a bell rings, an angel gets its wings and eyes. So
yeah,
that's why they have lots of wings of eyes because of all the bells we ring.
yeah. Like
Why
that.
they're
That almost sounds
terrifying.
like you could use it as a beat. Wings and eyes and wings and eyes and wings and eyes and wings and eyes and wings and eyes.
So next time you're passing by a church and the church bells are ringing, Angel is getting a pair of wings and eyes every single time.
So
which
many
is why they're
wings.
horrifying.
So many eyes.
Be not afraid.
Yeah, I really think that yelling "Be not afraid" is one of the best moments in storytelling. Just like showing up full of light and wings and eyes and screaming "Be not afraid." Like
I want to enter every room with "Be not afraid. I'm here."
Cleo, you can start today. This good news. This is one of those cases where you're holding you back, and that means you can fix it.
I mean, fix is a very, very loose term. Anyway, thank you, Rainbow Skull, who resubscribed for 10 months, Paleo Cheer Biddies, Bakura Cheer Biddies, Geek of Many Topics, who has resubscribed for 13 months, Lulu, Edelweiss, Cheered Biddies, and we got a hype train, Choo Choo, and everybody say happy birthday to the Josepher Hills. Go and wish him happy birthday on his channel and all the good stuff.
It's me. So. Yeah, thank you. I stopped reading all the names because there's like 800 people. I don't know the actual number. Don't tell me the actual number. It'll make me neurotic. Just kidding. I'm clearly already neurotic. That's why I can't look at the numbers.
Already.
But yeah, no, there is a lot of happy birthday messages rolling in. I can't thank everybody. But thank you, Lizzie Mack. Thank you, Rotation. I was gonna say thank you, Lakshmi13, who actually didn't wish me happy birthday, but was talking about other stuff. But I appreciate.
You know what? Sometimes we need. Sometimes that's.
Sometimes it can't be all about my birthday. Lakshmi13, thank you for grounding me. I can't let this go to my head. I can't. You know, you are necessary and appreciated, Lakshmi13. Thank you. Okay, so last week I was working on this sketch, which I'm not sure how great it shows up here, of the Carina Nebula from the James Webb Space Telescope. In previous weeks, I've been working on flying machine designs, different pinball machine back boxes, stuff like that. I think that I want to do either more pinball stuff today or more space stuff. But what I don't want to do is make a lot of decisions or think. I'm still drinking my coffee. So I'm just going to pull up the James Webb thing and see. I saw there was a new image of a terrifying eldritch nebula. Oh, that's true. Lakshmi13 wrote me a birthday haiku in the general chat. So thank you, Lakshmi13. I did. That was like the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning. So thank you. After my second alarm went off, because my first alarm is kind of quieter, so that in theory I don't wake up everybody. But then the second alarm is if you're not already awake, somebody else needs to wake you up. Like I need somebody throwing shoes at my door. Yeah, Daddy, turn your alarm off.
Okay, so my craft this time is I'm switching journals. I've only got about that much left, and I've counted it out. I don't have enough left for the rest of the year. So I am transferring the rest of the year from August. So September, October, November, December. So those 4 months are going into this journal, which I bought because it was cheap, even though it's the same version. This one was more expensive than this one, even though they're identical except for the color.
Well, I mean, I really like the teal, but
I do enjoy teal. Like this like green is my favorite color.
My dice
and
tray
this is more
teal.
green than teal in real life. So, that's one of my favorite colors. This is probably my favorite color. This green pen, like green. But yeah, I'm ending off in pink. So what I figure is like the next year when I have to buy journals, I buy 2 of the same, and then I do 6 months in one and then 6 months in another, and do it that way. The otter logo is cute. This is this brand is called Ottogami. They're vegan leather, premium sort of pages. Doesn't bleed through, so even when I've drawn pictures and stuff, the ink doesn't go through the pages. Plus, at the back, you get special things. So if I was the sort of person that could that collected like tickets and stuff, I'd put them in the back here, but I'm not. But they also give you things like free stickers, and a
Ooh.
competition win. Stickers and like stencils, which I don't really use that much. I use them sometimes, but not much.
I like that
So
they have an American football but a British currency symbol.
yes, it's weird. It's
They're like,
weird.
we're gonna localize this, but not too much.
It's going to be local to multiple people.
What does the text say underneath the football? It's a little blurry.
Activity.
Activity? Oh my gosh, when I think of the word activity, I think of a football hitting the grass with no one catching it. Because there's little motion lines there.
Yeah.
Activity is letting the ball drop. Wow, that's
Yes.
actually no. Okay, I'm fact checking this now. It's like man, maybe that is what I think of when I think of activities. Like, oh boy, I'm gonna stuff this up. Really gonna drop the ball on that one.
I do appreciate that they have these journals are
Mm-hmm.
usually for like at least 6 months to a year, and the things that they've decided to put on their stickers is shopping, and I'm just like, I go
Shopping.
shopping all the time. I shop at least once a week.
So you got 6 stickers for the whole year. It's designed to fight consumerism. Hey, Lost Cult Music rolling in with our first tip of the day. Says happy birthday, Joe. Hi also to Cleo and welcoming us to
Hi.
shared crafting time. Well, we're gonna have some even more shared crafting time. We just announced on Twitter yesterday that Wednesday, August 10th, we're gonna have Janie Laney returning as our special guest. But oh, before I forget that we're on rotational what do you call them? Tip rewards?
I don't call
I
them
don't know if
anything.
this is a reward or a
A
punishment.
trauma.
It's like the camera gets more obnoxious. But, okay, we're gonna rotate the camera to 7 degrees. We're doing rotational tip recognition or observance today. So hi, I'm now at 7 degrees. Oh, I haven't posted the tipping link yet. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. Cookie Demon says, Joe, stop spitting bars. Was I singing?
You were not. Oh, you. mm,
What does spitting bars mean? Does it means like freestyle rhyming, right? Usually,
I feel like it should do,
I
but
don't
if
think
it
I was
doesn't, then
rhyming.
I don't think you were either.
But like once again, I have not yet had my coffee. I spent. Let me tell. Oh, I didn't even get to tell Cleo this story off camera yet. So
Oh no.
so like I said, I went hiking in the morning, and I was like, I'm glad I got some outdoor time. This is really gonna help invigorate me for the whole day. And
Hmm.
on the way home from hiking, I stopped at the grocery store and I was very tired and I didn't pack the stuff I bought properly in the trunk. And in theory, it should have been a very short drive home, so it shouldn't have mattered. But there was construction, and we got rerouted, and there was a bunch of other stuff. So I ended up having to make a sharp turn because of some construction pushing our lane way out. And so, boom, glass flies across the back of the trunk. Teriyaki
Hmm.
sauce shatters, soaks the carpet of the trunk, and then drips down into the wheel well, or the spare tire well. So then I spent like an hour scrubbing the carpet of the trunk and cleaning out the wheel spare tire well. I had to remove the spare tire and all the jack and everything and clean everything. Because teriyaki sauce has a lot of sugar in it, so you'll get ants, which you don't want in your car in Tennessee
No,
or anywhere.
no, you don't, or
And
anywhere
so
really.
then I had to. So then I spent several hours editing today's episode, sitting on my laptop with an extension cord and a box fan on a stool. Like it's one of those things. Like in theory, I wouldn't feel very comfortable leaving my car open and unattended. But if I've got
Uh-huh.
a stupidly dangerous electrical cord set up, I really need to be sitting next to it. So I had to sit. So I sat next to the car for a few hours yesterday while it
Oh,
aired out. But I did get my video edited. So,
you did. You
but
did.
wow, yeah. So if I seem even more out of it than usual today, uh I need this coffee. I had a very physically active day yesterday and I'm still
Aw,
recovering.
poor Joe.
Uh But I need to find that. This is my problem, is whenever I try to start exercising, I somehow overdo it, even when my plan is to go home and make chicken. So, anyway, Chloe the Great and Powerful tips 27 and says, "Happy birthday, Joe. Hope this year is a great one." I believe it can be, Chloe the Great and Powerful. I believe it can be.
It does have the possibility to be great.
I am going to take control of whatever I can, and I am going to just say these parts are going to be great. So let's see.
Yeah, all of it. All of it's going to be great. Thank you to Ken Arasha for resubscribing for 12 months, a full year of streams. Sliding Architecture has resubscribed for 10 months. I am indeed well. Bootarts has subscribed. Welcome to the Horde. If you look to your left and to your right, you'll see there are no exits. Imaginary Kerry gifted 5 community gift subs. Thank you so much. You're amazing. AC Camper has resubscribed for 16 months. Imaginary Kerry has resubscribed for 6 months. 6 months is today. Yeah, that's a half a year. Oh my goodness. Okay. And also Joe's birthday, so we can all be happy about that.
Yay. Oh, wow.
Yay, Joe.
I've been so busy looking at these NASA images trying to figure out what to draw. I missed that we have also been getting tips via PayPal. Thank you very Sarah. Her name is not very Sarah. Thank you very much to Sarah. I'm just going to chug the coffee faster.
Just breathe, Joe.
Thank you very much to Sarah, who says, "Happy level up day. Wish you lots of skill points to the health bar." I think it says something that I was probably going to invest those skill points in magic to the detriment of my own health, but clearly at least some of them should go in the health bar. But Sarah tips 50. So let's see, we were at 35 and then now that puts us at 85. So we need to rotate that camera another 50 degrees angular. I believe in me. It's like pumping gas with the scroll wheel here. 40, 45, 50. What did I say? We're going to 85? Okay, that's fine.
I think last year it was Joe's birthday, even around the same time. Yes. Are you making a monthly spread? What I'm doing is I am making... currently, because I'm switching over to a new journal, I like to have a thing at the front that's got like a year ahead. So if there's anything important that's coming up, it can just get popped in there. So I'm making it's not a monthly spread. I'm making just a yearly spread, I suppose.
It's annual.
My brand of notebook is Ottogami. It's got the little otter on the front. Works very well for me.
Oh, that's an otter. I thought it was a comma because of the way the camera was. But
I mean, it is.
Thank you, Gritmonger, for tipping 20, who says Froelich Geburtstag. Froelich Geburtstag. I'm going to assume that that's German for Happy Christmas. Hence the tune there. No, it's probably Happy Birthday. So anyway, we're going to rotate.
I would imagine it was Happy Birthday.
We're all going to rotate. We were at 85. We're going to go up to 105 degrees angular. So thank you, Gritmonger, for those kind, if not cryptic, birthday wishes. I don't know if
like a kind yet cryptic birthday wish.
Is any language you don't understand cryptic? Is that a fair assumption, or is that just me being an American? While you deliberate,
what's the definition of cryptic, guys? What's what we need?
Yeah, Gracie sent in a tip for 20, who writes, "Feliz cumpleaños a ti, feliz cumpleaños a ti, feliz cumpleaños a Jose Hills, feliz cumpleaños a ti y muchas más." So that's going to put us at 125 angular. And then we got another 5 rolling in from Gary Fuller, who says, "Happy birthday. Check out Joe Hills' Patreon where you can celebrate all year round." Well, that's actually part of what I was... That's a great lead-in! Gary, so many people are going to be furious with you for bringing this up. But I was going to talk to Cleo about that. I was going to talk to Cleo today. On my agenda for this call was... I'm trying to figure out how to run a full-service, 24/7, 365 Discord without the money to pay a full-time staff member. And so I've been assuming that I should see how far I can get with my budget on part-time staff. And that's been helpful but not sufficient. So then I was looking at drawing back from 24/7 365. But everybody I talked to said that's not how the internet works. It would be better to get rid of service. It would be better to reduce the full service part than to reduce the 24/7 365. And I wanted to ask Cleo about that because like there are still shops that close in England on some days of the week and stuff. But anyway, real quick, iconic anemone
Shops not
is
close in America
tipping
ever.
5 and says just got some money, thought I would send some birthday cheer your way. Can't watch the stream, but have a good day. Well, thank you so much, iconic anemone. That's going to get us up to 135 angular. And then we got another PayPal tip rolling in. Let me see who it's from. Robin says happy ruddy birthday from the UK, Joe, and tips 15 and says thanks for all the laughs. Hopefully that's not swearing over there, is it?
What?
Ruddy?
Ruddy?
Yeah, I don't know.
Not really.
It's like
it's not swearing, but it's what you use in.
I was gonna say it originally was homophobic
swearing.
naval slang, but or something stupid like that. That's what I was thinking of probably.
No, it's where you use bloomin' instead of bloody. You know, it's that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, like the Australians with their bloomin' onions and bloomin' that. Okay, Ryland tips 5 and says happy birthday, Joe. Glad to catch the stream as I work late tonight. Woo! Puts us up to 155.
Yay!
Okay.
Yeah. So you wanted to talk to me about 24/7,
the 24/7 nature of everything on the internet. Like it seems like so I saw this concept that there's an Israeli hosting company that will turn off your website. It'll turn off your website server before the Sabbath begins and turn it back on when the Sabbath ends.
Okay.
Because the idea is that if you are not supposed to be doing work...
Hang on, I've got to get my cat food that's just been delivered.
Okay.
I will be back.
It's very special cat food, the most special cat food ever, only available via delivery. Cat food for ZombieCleo and her cats. Yeah,
It wasn't cat food.
Yeah, Cleo needs that zombie safe cat food because it saves her a lot of meal planning time.
No. What I need is I need cat food that isn't going to make my cats throw up because one of my cats is allergic to everything.
Oh no.
So it wasn't cat food. It was somebody who was doing window cleaning.
Oh, fantastic!
And I'm like, I have very small windows. They're tiny. They don't need cleaning. Promise. Yeah. Ever. Anyway.
Yeah, it's not one of those good Surface tablets. Just kidding, there are none.
You're okay, Joe.
Oh, if Microsoft wants me to not insult their products, they can I don't know, hire me on as a full sponsorship deal. Get me one of those NASCAR vests that has Windows 11 on it, and then it also promotes like PowerPoint, Excel. Give me a patch for every part of the Office
suite. I would like
suite.
to point out that if you give Joe a certain amount of money, you could sponsor a month of streams.
You know,
I'm not saying what that amount of money is.
No,
that is doable.
I've been thinking about that too. I feel like if I made enough money that I could hire a full-time community manager, like I think I think that a safe starting salary for that is 40 to 60 a year. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, that seems fair.
So if Microsoft came in and said, we want to give you enough to cover this person's salary, plus enough for you to start saving for a home again, because I burned through my savings at the beginning of the hiatus, or not the beginning, throughout the hiatus, and I have not been able to rebuild them. Every time I start rebuilding them, there's an expense where I'm like, oh yeah, I put off buying that during the hiatus. So I didn't go into debt, but I haven't been able to rebuild my savings either, right? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, that makes entirely sense to me.
Yeah, Chris Walker says, Joe, just create a good product. That's what I'm trying to do. I want to make better stuff so that I just naturally make enough money to like do these things. But if Microsoft said, we're going to save you 5 years of doing better at what you're doing by just rolling in and offering you 10 grand a month, wear this NASCAR jacket. Get a chroma green NASCAR jacket that has patches with the entire Office suite, Microsoft database solutions, all what are the server level Microsoft products these days? I know they've got their own Microsoft SQL could be on there. That could be prominent. Because here's the thing, is they know if they Minecraft isn't going to sponsor me at that level. Minecraft doesn't need to sponsor me at that level. But Microsoft SQL server database solutions, when somebody gets a contract with Microsoft for that, they end up spending like 30 grand, right? Minimum.
Right.
Sometimes up to millions of dollars on these contracts. If I convince just one IT professional out there to tell their boss to use Microsoft SQL instead of MariaDB, which I would never do if I wasn't being paid $120,000 a year to do it, they'll make that $120,000 a year back. Like, but realistically, any sponsor that's just like, we'll give you $300 to promote our shady VPN. It's like, I am not going to do that for that amount of money because it doesn't actually let me make the community better or the art better in any way. It doesn't free me up at all.
No.
Right? Like, if the sponsorship doesn't provide me a sufficient amount of money to get me into freedom territory, I don't want to do it. So I don't know.
I keep on getting offers from shady businesses, and it's just sort of like, I like people to be professional in their things, and I know that I'm not their target audience, but when they're saying, well, we haven't heard for you, is this a breakup? And I'm just like, yeah it is, please never contact me again. What the hell are you doing? Please treat your business like it's a business, instead of like a creepy 15-year-old girl substitute.
Yeah, so that email technique was originally popularized by the fundraising campaign of the Barack Obama presidency.
I hate it. I hate it so
yeah,
much.
No, like where that was the turning point. That was the turning point moment where all of a sudden you would get an email that said, "Haven't heard from you lately, ... And you'd be like, what is this? And it's like, oh, it's the presidential campaign for Barack Obama, which I'm glad he won, but oh my god, he ruined email. And also, he should not have pardoned wiretappers and torturers. That set a terrible
100%.
precedent. But, okay, we're trying to focus on positive things, like hosting companies that say they'll shut down your server before the Sabbath and turn it back on after.
Yes, that's what we're after.
Because here's the thing, is even if you're not technically at work, right? Even if you're not technically at work, if you are in an IT job, which I've had a lot of jobs like this, I was technically responsible for those servers even if I wasn't on call, right?
Yes.
And so, in theory, like if I went out on a boat, every time I went out on a boat, I was like, if they call me because the servers are down, I'm going to be very deeply frustrated. Because I'm not technically on call. I don't technically have to pick up the phone. I don't technically have to have the phone with me. But if the servers go down, I want them to not be down. Right?
Yeah. So
it'll be a lot less stressful for somebody who's trying to celebrate the Sabbath. And, presumably the sanctity of that time shouldn't be intruded on by thoughts of labor. Like it's not just, oh hey, like not working is more than just not pressing buttons on a keyboard. It's not problem solving. It's not stressing. It's all of these things. So the idea is that this Israeli hosting company says, want to make sure that you don't have to worry about your servers over the Sabbath? We'll turn them off and turn them back on.
that actually sounds really nice.
Right?
I mean, not the Sabbath, because, I do a lot of my work on the weekends, but having somebody to turn off things when you don't want to pay attention to them,
Yeah. So, and I've been thinking about this too, like, so there's restaurants in town here that, like I realized a lot of what I do is kind of like running a local bar. But part of the problem I
Right.
have is that the bar is open 24/7, 365. Whereas like an
Mhm.
actual bar owner, like one of my coworkers, her and her husband owned a pub downtown called the Fleet Street Pub.
Mhm.
And I loved it. And I'm very happy that they got to sell it and then go sail around the world and actually live their retirement dream. But I'm really disappointed that I don't have like a pub owned by somebody I know where I can go hang out with a bunch of people I know all the time anymore. You know?
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but they sold it right before the pandemic, so good timing on them.
Smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
PLN.
don't know. Smart. Lucky, probably.
Yeah. Matt R. Tips PLN 10 and says Wszystkiego najlepszego. I'm gonna assume that is Polish for happy birthday. Oh God, I really need to actually learn some Polish. Like, I feel like I'm failing my ancestors. I know that they,
Eh.
like, I don't know. It's fine.
Thank you, Austin Abel MC, for the 100 biddies. I am doing well. Denumont has resubscribed for 15 months. Kurasa has subscribed. Welcome to the Horde. If you look to your left and to your right, you'll see there are no exits.
So, either way, so 10 PLN, which is presumably Polish nickels, gets us 2 US Abacus beads, so we're going to rotate the camera another 2 degrees. But yeah, I don't know. When I really want to be able to take my kid to Europe, it's probably going to be 2 years from now before I can afford it. But, like, I want to visit, I have ancestors from Scotland, Ireland, Germany, and Poland. And, like, that's a hard single trip to do. But by the time she goes to college, I feel like it'd be plausible to do a trip to Germany and Poland and a trip to Scotland and Ireland. Right?
Right.
Like, if I was doing really well, we could do 4 separate trips. But like,
You'd have to be doing very well.
I'd have to be doing very. I feel like as a life goal for the next decade, because she's got 10 more years of school basically. I think. Wait, starting 4th grade, no, 8 more. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of time, Cleo.
I know.
I'm running out of time.
Breathe, Joe, breathe.
But like, I want to be able to, like, when we go to Poland, I want to be able to, speak table stakes Polish to, but like, so it's one thing when I look at my bank account and I'm like, okay, I'm nowhere near being able to afford this. But it's another thing when I go, and even if I could, I wouldn't be able to find the train station, right? Like, I really, people have been joking that I should do Polish lessons with Corrales, since we did the Swedish thing. And
yeah,
honestly, much like the much like the Swedish thing, I didn't show up and say, okay, Corrales, teach me Swedish. I came in and I said, Corrales, here's the Swedish I prepared earlier. Help me improve it. And I think that is a good way to approach this, right? So I start learning the tourist Polish, and then I have Corrales, like, practice with me. But I can't just come in and say, Corrales, please get us started, right?
I'm just thinking how bad an idea it is to get Corrales to teach you long term.
But, I mean, Corrales is so fun.
Yes, but also, Corrales is a troll.
Yeah. Well, but that's also part of the reason that I would be, like, coming in with, I've started preparing this. You know. So Elijah says, Matt R's tip means all the best, Joe. Sorry.
We stopped him.
I didn't hear that.
Sorry, somebody asked if we managed to stop you from buying a castle.
Reality stopped me from buying a castle. Oh my gosh, my
We
bank.
just informed him of reality.
So Cleo, here's one of the reasons I've been stressing out about how tired I am lately. My bank changed their web portal last month, and a bunch of data got moved, so it's like presented differently, or in different places, or they're presenting different numbers in the places that other numbers used to be, right?
Right.
So when I would log in and glance at it, I was misreading it. Because...
Oh.
And so I seriously almost overdrafted last week. I was like, uh-oh, I need to move some money from savings into checking, because otherwise this phone bill that's about to process in like 1 hour is gonna bounce. And it's like, oh my gosh, I can't be this tired. I'm making too many stupid mistakes. I'm
Mhm.
screwing up stuff that's very important. Like, you can't bounce checks. That's not okay. I'm like, I'm just putting stuff in the trunk of the car and going, it'll be fine, instead of like thinking about it and going like, there's a lot of glass and teriyaki sauce in here. Maybe I should like put this in the past, like wedge this somehow. Like, oh no,
Yeah.
it's a short distance. It'll be fine. No, it wasn't. I lost like 2 hours over that yesterday. I'm exhausted and I'm making stupid mistakes and
Hmm.
I'm just like, I need to
You're running on empty.
I need to dig myself out of this. Like, the mistakes I'm making because I'm tired are making things worse in ways that are making me more tired, right?
Hmm.
And like, that's where like this idea of like, okay, hard Sabbath, everything shuts off on Saturday, like that they're doing with the Israeli web hosting company. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
boy, if I had something like that, would I be making as many stupid mistakes because I'm tired? Maybe. I'd probably still be making some of them, but I don't know if I'd be making all of them. Esteban says it's fine to make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Yeah. I agree. I'm not beating myself up for making mistakes because I'm tired, but I'm making mistakes that I'm only making because I'm tired. I'm making mistakes where I'm like, there was no logical reason for me to not. Like, now that I'm looking at this website, it's clear that this number does not refer to this data. That they swapped where the data is. This represents that. Like, it's labeled, but like my brain just wasn't processing that the labels were different than they used to be before they changed the website, right? Like, dumb stuff that
No, no, I get you. I
like,
get you.
structurally I need to get more rest to avoid making
Mhm.
mistakes. Sparks TB says, glass and teriyaki, what do you have in your trunk, Joe? Well, nothing now, because I spent hours cleaning it out yesterday. Je ne sais quoi! Welcome! Glad you could join us. Hope things are good with you. Je ne sais quoi is a streamer from Nashville, Tennessee, does all sorts of fun music stuff, sim stuff. Definitely, you can click on her name and follow her if you're looking for cool stuff. Second Fifth says, I remember when my bank swapped how everything looked after a merger and it was a pain. Yeah, it's the sort of thing, like, it should be an annoyance, not a problem, though. It
Mhm.
being swapped and me being really tired is where is a problem, right? All these things that would
Right.
otherwise just be a minor inconvenience are like, oh no, I need to scramble to fix this now, right? Um,
Right.
and yeah, the teriyaki sauce came in a glass bottle. So, Mr.
Hmm.
Koi Carp says, is this lack of sleep or do you need a longer break? I think maybe both. I'm gonna I like basically um I've been really thinking hard about what Mumbo did, where he just said, I'm
Yeah.
gonna take 3 months off. And
Hmm.
the only way for me to do that is to empty my retirement fund and pay a huge tax penalty. You're not supposed to touch your retirement fund in the United States until you turn 65. In some places, you can borrow against it, depending on how it was set up.
Hmm.
Mine is not set up that way. I cannot borrow against my
Right.
retirement fund. I can empty it, but for
Hmm.
basically for every $10 I took out, I'd probably end up paying $3 or $4 in penalties,
Yeah. No,
which is
that feels bad.
that's a lot, and that seems very bad. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've decided not to do that, but I've been really
Oh,
looking at
good.
it and going like, what? How am I going to have a life that was worth living? When I look back at 65 and I go, I'm glad I have this money. Am I going to be glad I had this money, or am I going to go, I should have just taken this out earlier. The last 4 decades were terrible, right? I
Right.
I
Yeah.
should I,
I
I
am.
should have fixed the problems that made the last 4 decades terrible. How am I going to look back at this, right? Garth, thank you for the 5, who says, Happy Lempira Day. I don't know what a Lempira is, but is that a birthday? Either way, another 5 degrees of rotation. So let's see, that brings us up to
What month am I on? I'm doing. Like, I'm on September, but this is starting a new
Oh, I
journal,
haven't been putting these all. So it should be at 165, I think.
so I'm just doing a little monthly, like months thing to start with.
Yeah, I need to put them on the abacus and the rotator. Luke Chris Walker says, how much would you need for like 2 months off? Well, that depends on things like if I kept my Minecraft servers running and my Discord active. I need to pay server fees and staff expenses, and so that's at least $1,600 or so a month right there. Um, so my rent is $1,800 a month. My health insurance is $700 a month. Other
Thank you for
utilities got
this, my boo.
internet and stuff. A few $100s a month in utilities. A couple $100s a month in food. I mean, basically, it's I don't know. I don't have a tally on that, but yeah, basically. And keep in mind too, I've made certain choices that make my life more expensive than other people's. I've decided to stay in an expensive school district so that my kid wouldn't have to change schools after the divorce. Because like, yeah, I had to move around a lot when I was a kid because of my dad's failed businesses and stuff, and that really sucked. And so as somebody who's starting his own business, I'm trying to do it in such a way I don't have to yank my kid all over the place, right?
Understandable.
So, like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, basically, yeah, I would. Well, and the other thing with the withdrawing money from the retirement fund is once again that there's penalties and there's taxes and stuff. So basically, if I wanted to, if I did empty it out, it would be stupidly expensive.
Right.
So, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
and it seems like that's not something that I should do. It seems like that's impulsive and stupid, but the fact that I keep finding myself fantasizing about it. Like when we were in that Hermitcraft meeting on Thursday, Cleo.
Yeah.
All I could think about was Mumbo chose not to be here for 3 months. And I'm just like, I could do that. I would be completely out of money when I was done. It would be the stupidest thing in the world, but I could do that. What how much better off would I be creatively at the end of it? Even if I had, and like, I've been looking at it and it's like, maybe I'd be better off creatively if I took another day job making websites than trying to like maintain my Patreon infrastructure. Like, maybe I just shut all that down and just focus on the core art stuff and offset that by
that's a possibility,
making websites again. And I'm like, I don't think that that's a good idea either. The logistical problems of getting my kid to and from school to take another day job. If it was a remote one, it might be okay. And there are a lot of remote computer stuff. But I'm like, this seems like a bad idea. But the fact that, like, this is where my head is going, this is what I'm fantasizing about, I'm like, how do I get out of this exhaustion spiral? I could get out of this exhaustion spiral by taking a salaried web development job. I could get out of this exhaustion spiral by emptying my retirement fund. I'm like, this must be pretty bad.
Sounds pretty bad.
Like that, like I'm like, okay. But part of my problem is, I'm like, when I'm this tired, I don't want to make any big decisions. So I've been just kind of running on autopilot. But if the problem is I'm too tired to make big decisions, and I can't stop being this tired without making big decisions, eventually big decisions are going to get made for me. Like, I'm going to bounce a bunch of checks, not be able to make payroll because I misread my banking user interface. Right? Or I'm going to be too tired to drive safely. Like, it's an inconvenience that I was too tired to pack the car properly and the whiskey bottle exploded. But maybe I shouldn't be driving if I'm too tired to pack the car right? Like, because that's
Yeah, no, I see where
dangerous.
you're going.
Like, I'm like, at a certain point, I either have to say, I'm just going to accept that I'm so too tired to make. So, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out what's something I can do for 3 months that isn't permanent, that isn't permanently emptying my bank, that isn't taking on a different job, that and one of the things I came up with was basically saying, okay, what if I take the Discord and either make it less full service or less 24/7.
Okay.
So that way it's scoped so that the money I already have budgeted for the moderators is sufficient for them to deal with anything that comes up. And Abner suggests an OnlyFans. Cleo, I think Hermitcraft would probably consider kicking any one of us out who's. Do you think they would? I think I think it would be a very unpleasant conversation, but I think I would get kicked out of Hermitcraft if I started.
I'm not sure we would kick you out, but I'm sure there would be.
I think it would be bad
for the
public
group. Statement.
I think it would be bad for the group if I started an OnlyFans. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I think it would cause internal strife because there's a lot of argument about, well, we're all artists and we all make art in our own way, and we always said that this group wasn't about telling people how to make their art. Right. So like and it would also potentially, Invisible Lego points out, I'm not sure the custody judge would approve. Yeah, that would also complicate my legal situation there. Anything that potentially causes me to lose my kid is bad.
Yeah, I'm also not convinced that was a serious suggestion, Joe, so maybe take that for what it's worth.
Oh, no, I know. People are throwing out ideas. I'm just addressing them. I'm stepping through my thought process here because the idea that anything a custody judge would object to is too expensive to be worth considering. One of the things that people are going to suggest that's more plausible is, Joe, why don't you move to a more rural area to save money on rent? And one of the problems is anything that puts my kid further away from an airport that has a direct flight to where her mom lives is something that her mom can object to in court. If I move closer to where her mom lives, then they probably wouldn't be actionable. But if I do anything that makes it harder for her to see her daughter, that is going to be something that could end up costing me thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars in court. So, like, there's a lot of things where I'm kind of at the local maxima of Nashville has an international airport with direct flights to where her mom lives. And so, like, yes, I could save money by leaving the city on rent, but I might end up paying more money all at once in the next 3 months if I did so, right? So instead of paying slightly more rent forever, I would be paying a lawyer tens of thousands of dollars and going into debt. So Mark New says cost of living in Copenhagen with a cheap apartment is $2,500 to $3,500, assuming you rent and live cheaply. How is it in the U.S. for you? I have the cheapest 3-bedroom apartment I could find, and the building is very bad. But yeah, $1,800 or so for rent, which for this part of Nashville is low. Most 3-bedroom apartments around here are $2,700 to $3,500. I'm not going to find anything cheaper in the same school zone. Okay. So, let's see. Yeah, I have the chat open, NJ. There's just...
That's a lot going on right now.
Yeah. I mean, y'all seem to like just because there's three chats open doesn't mean I'd read all three chats aloud. I'm letting you guys talk amongst yourselves about the values of different OnlyFans or rural internet. The rural internet question is irrelevant to my situation because moving somewhere rural would be difficult because of the legal stuff. So,
Yeah.
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 So, anyway. Hey, we got a tip rolling in from Derek for 5, who says, business idea, text your Minecraft food and start a Polish deli with Corrales and only speak Polish there. Oh my gosh, creating a Polish deli where you only speak Polish on Hermitcraft would be amazing. I could give everybody a little, written book with, like, basic phrases like, may I purchase 3 sausages, please? Here are 2 diamonds. I really like this idea, Derek. I don't know if it fits this season, and I'm not likely to get to Poland anytime soon, but this is the best idea for season 10 I've ever heard. We'll come back to this in 18 months. Max tips 15 and says, now you have to scroll more. Happy birthday, Cho. Thanks. Let's go ahead and add another 15. We got the 5 in there from Derek, and now we're going to rotate to 185 degrees angular.
Gosh, that's a lot of rotation today.
It is.
I'm a good listener. Like, I am a good listener, but also part of listening is knowing when to shut up when you have nothing to say. At least nothing that can be said on camera.
Yeah, Cleo has a lot of OnlyFans stuff she's going to come back to us and talk about when we're not streaming.
Yes.
Yeah.
The OnlyFans stuff is key to my entire future.
Mr. Hardluck tips 10 and says, the club patrons supported the arts and my DJ set in particular, so I can support the arts and your stream in particular. So thank you very much, Mr. Hardluck, for...
Thank you, Mr. Rainbow, who's cheered biddies. I really appreciate that. Leslie has gifted a sub. Thank you very much indeed.
Rotated to 195. Okay. So, yeah. I'm thinking, like... So yeah, we're at 195. I got that on the rotation thing. So anyway, back to the like not being 24/7 thing.
Yes.
Right. So like the local
stuff that I feel like I have answers to, maybe.
Yeah.
Or at
so
least
like
can help.
There are local restaurants that will put up a sign on like a Tuesday night and say, tonight our staff is serving at Movies in the Park in Elmington Park. Please find our tent there. Right?
That's cool.
So they're just like, they don't have a separate food truck, right? Like
no.
They can't run the restaurant and a remote thing. So they just close the restaurant, they bring the staff to the park, and they make that they have some sort of outdoor grill setup, which might just be like the owner's actual like grill he uses for parties, because I'm sure he has a nice house, right?
Yeah.
So he has a grill he can put on a trailer and just go, right?
Right.
And I think there's something there too. You know, I like this idea. Let's say that I'm going to a convention.
Right.
And a lot of my staff is going to be at the convention. I like the idea of setting the Discord, the parts of it that aren't related to, like, the stuff for the Minecraft servers would stay open. Because that's for coordinating between people. That's not really something that I don't really interfere with the Minecraft chats. They don't really ever require moderation action.
Yeah.
They run themselves, right? So they're not stressing me out. Which is the number one goal here, is to reduce stress for me. And to save me moderator time. And we're not spending any moderator time on those chats. We're not stressing me out with those chats. Those chats are fine. They stay open. Everything else goes read-only with a sign that says, I'm at this event. Come see me at these panels if you want to say hello. Otherwise, have a great weekend. Right?
Yeah.
So that
Thank you,
way, when I'm
Myru,
at the
Mini Cheese
event,
Mouse, and Arterial Red for the biddies. Very much appreciated.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the one chat that I might leave open is every time I go to an event like that, I have a chat in the Discord for that event, so so people can coordinate like, hey, let's go get coffee or let's grab breakfast or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that room would stay open for the people who are actually at the event to coordinate with each other and with me.
Mm-hmm.
But the Discord would basically go into we're on location mode. And
Yeah.
like I know that would suck for the people who aren't there, but it makes sense to me to kind of just say like I I need to accept that I can't divide my attention like this, right? And so the other thing is I found that when I travel, I
Mm-hmm.
dread having to come back and review moderator decisions.
Right.
I want to be able to leave and know that I don't have, okay, here's a 30-page chat transcript. We temporarily banned this person. Do you want to uphold it or overrule it?
Yeah.
Right? And so I could have a better weekend and be more focused on the people who came out to see me and to be part of that event if I know that there's less stress. I want to come back excited to be creative.
Yeah.
And not immediately go, but before I can be creative, oh my gosh, I haven't drawn anything. I've been sitting here looking at this picture of Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why is that not showing up? Okay, well, that's terrible. Okay. Yeah, let's remove that layer. Quirky says, how do you close the Discord for a weekend? Set everything to read only that's not about going to the event or for the Minecraft stuff. Because, like I said, the Minecraft stuff is not a problem. And I'm sure some people are like, well, we could make it a problem, but I don't. Please don't.
Yeah. Thanks, Ash, for the biddies. It's appreciated.
But yeah, Aviva says that apparently the Blaseball Discord does something like this to give their staff a day off once a month. They shut the entire Discord to read only and say they call it a day of play and encourage people to go and do offline stuff, come back afterwards and share what they did. Yeah, see, that's exactly the sort of thing that I think
That seems really reasonable.
Yeah, like basically saying like you know, I'm going to take every Tuesday and Wednesday the Discord closes, or when I go on a trip, the Discord goes to read only. And like I said, I feel like this is a better solution in some ways than reducing services and offering fewer channels or fewer topics within the scope of the Discord. But it's so different from how the rest of the internet works that I've gotten a lot of pushback when I've talked to people one-on-one about this. But I don't know if that's just because it's so weird. It's like a sticker shock thing. And that's why I'm like looking at how real world businesses do stuff like this, and why I'm looking at like this Israeli hosting company that turns things off on Saturdays. Like, you don't have to worry if your server is up or down on Saturday. It's down. They turned it off because it's the Sabbath. That's right. So liberating.
Yeah. I'm thinking, Joe, if that would make you feel, I don't know how to put it, more inclined to be creative.
Yeah.
And make you feel like you don't have to spend all your time monitoring situations. I mean, it's worth thinking about.
Yeah, and it's not that I'm spending all my time monitoring situations. It's that I'm overextended and I'm trying to figure out what I can change. And like, the other things I could change at this point are all somehow worse options. Like, I've already adjusted all the low-hanging fruit in my life. I've already hyper-optimized everything I could hyper-optimize. And, like, it's just like, so I'm at the point where any change I could make would have to be drastic and upsetting. So, it's like, okay. But anyway, let's...
I don't necessarily see that as a drastic change. I just think it's just a different one. So long as you're focused with everybody on and you're honest with your patrons, I see that as a thing that would work reasonably well.
Yeah. Okay, so Geek of Many Topics sent 5 and says, "Have a happy birthday, Joe." Well, thank you so much, Geek of Many Topics. We're gonna add 5 more to the camera here. So that's gonna get us to 200 degrees angular. We got another 2 coming in from Emily, who says, "Rotate the cam a bit." I can by 2 degrees angular. Do 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 do. So thank you very much, Emily, for getting us to 202. We got another one rolling in. From Lorena for 30, who says, "You're an incredible artist and a lovely human being, Joe. Happy birthday, and thank you for sharing your talents with us." Thank you, Lorena. Let's rotate that 30. And somebody said, "Joe, do you?" Dang it, I don't know which chat it was in. Sorry, I got distracted looking at the other thing. Somebody said, "Joe, do you think that just shutting down for... You only go on a few trips a year. Do you think shutting the Discord down for only a few days a year would make that much of a difference?" I think one of the problems that I've noticed every time that I've taken a break or traveled is I come back stressed about catching up on things. And every time I go, I look at the time I spent on the trip, and I'm like, I spent more time stressing out about how stuff was running in my absence than I should have. Like, I haven't been able to unplug. Like, every time I go on a vacation, I'm like, the vacation was too short. I wasn't able to really unplug, and now I'm stressed about having to catch up and possibly review things. And I don't want to come back from a vacation dreading my initial return tasks. One of the things I was thinking about doing to fix that is saying, if anybody does get kicked from the Discord pending review while I'm away, I'll deal with it on the first of the month. I'm not gonna schedule it for the day I come back. I'll look at this. I'm gonna say 3 weeks after the day I come back, I'll look at this. I'm gonna give myself my time to be creative while I'm returning from this. And I could understand people being upset about there being a longer turnaround on reviewing stuff like that, but like, I don't know. I'm, like I said, the other solutions I'm looking at feel more drastic. It feels like signing up for another day job or emptying my retirement fund are too drastic.
They are very drastic, yes, and I think would probably make you feel worse in the long run, or have the potential to make you feel worse in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be really bad if I got to 65 and didn't have any money, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give you that. But, like, part of me really thinks it's like, I feel like I just don't have enough time to focus on my creative stuff. And, like, just having 3 months to focus on resting and being creative would maybe...
I think that's that,
maybe I'd end up with an extra 20,000 viewers an episode if the episodes were better, right? 20,000 extra views an episode this year, then next year even more, and next year even more. I get to 65, and I'm like, oh boy, I could sell one of these yachts, and then, I didn't need that retirement fund at all. Like,
I mean, I see where you're going with this. I'm just thinking about how it would work for me. My opinion is, what would I do if I were in this situation? And my situation is, I would take the time off, I think, but I feel like I would be able to... Here's the thing, and this is the weird thing. Since leaving my job, YouTube has felt like a chore I have to do, and I'm still working through it. But when I think about, well, what would you do instead? And I'm thinking, well, I'd have to go back to work, and I'm thinking, I can't go back to work. I can't go back to doing the stuff that I was like.
Well, that's how I felt a year ago. But like the fact that I'm
Right.
seriously the fact that I'm seriously considering it is terrifying to me.
Yeah.
The fact that going back to work would be better than trying to live the way I'm living indefinitely.
Hmm.
Because like one of the biggest things was when my health drastically improved when I stopped commuting and quit my job, and
Yes.
it started to decline in the same. I'm having the same symptoms reassert themselves.
Hmm.
My stress level and exhaustion level are at the point where I'm seeing this, and I'm just like at that point, what if I could find a job that was fully remote and was slightly less stressful than my old job? I might actually come out ahead health wise, and I would
Hmm.
definitely come out ahead financially.
Right.
Because like what I could make as a developer isn't bad,
Yeah.
you know? And so like maybe I should just let somebody who wants websites fund my art for a while. So that way I can actually have weekends or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like and I'm not saying
No,
that
I
that's the
understand.
right answer, but like the fact that I'm even considering it is terrifying to me. Like
Hmm.
that means I'm in a place where change needs to happen. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Spencer, thank you for the 2. Who says happy birthday, Joe? So glad you're here. Me too. That that's gonna change our rotation to 234.
Wouldn't more heavily monetizing the channel ultimately help you get that breathing room? I mean, it might,
Well, but more
but
heavily
here's the thing: a
monetizing the
lot of
channel is accomplished by doing better artwork consistently. I need to turn around videos faster that are higher energy and funnier. And it's hard for me to be high energy, funny, and make time to edit when I'm this exhausted and stressed. Winter says you probably need to space out the events you do too. Going to play on con and then doing a 48-hour stream the next weekend is a lot. The thing is, those two things are things that I could do, and like those are the things I want to do. I would rather raise $16,000 a year for child's play than work from home or be self-employed. I I feel like that's one of the best things I do for the world. Because I could be an artist who doesn't make money. I could just keep making
Mhm.
my art and still be creatively fulfilled. I'm in this awkward place where it's like I'm trying to make money off my art. But like if I just
Yeah.
went back to having a day job, my art doesn't need to make money.
Right.
And I could go to Play on Con and I could do that 48-hour charity stream. Like um I would rather do Draw for Charity and attend Play on Con than have a YouTube channel. Like those
Hmm.
are I've been going to Play on Con for 14 years now. The people I see there are a huge part of my life, and I don't want to not go to that. And um yeah, I don't know. It's like yeah. That's where I'm at. So, I don't know. Sorry, Cleo, but you were saying you're at the point where the idea of going back to work is like physically repulsive to you.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that. That's where I was a year ago.
Hmm. Um, which concerns me because it's like, am
Because
I gonna have to deal with this?
that's the thing is I one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you about this is because if you see it coming for you, you might be able to deal with this in advance before it's like I'm at that that was one of the things somebody concerned Kindlelist might be here. Kindlelist raised the concern that like Joe, you said you're too tired to deal with a lot of this right now. You shouldn't be making big decisions. Well, like I said earlier, my problem I'm running into is I have been trying to wait for a time where I'm not too tired to make big decisions, and I keep
Mhm.
getting more tired and more overextended, and it's gotten to the point where like I said, I'm having enough problems coming up and getting in my way that like we're at a decision point where if I don't if I don't make a decision now, I'm going to make another stupid financial mistake by misreading my bank account thing because I'm too tired and then actually run out of money. Or I'm going to get in a car accident and it won't just be teriyaki sauce everywhere. Or something like I'm at the point where I can no longer afford to wait until I'm not tired to fix being too tired. I need to just change something drastically now. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to change something drastically in a non-permanent way. I'm saying whatever changes I'm describing here would be a 3-month trial period from October through January, or through December. January we come back and we revisit it, and I feel like just having that to look forward to is helping me stress out less. Just knowing that I'm actively taking steps toward addressing this is letting me relax more and sleep better. You know? So that's where I'm at. Janie Laney, welcome. Glad you could join us. If y'all are not already following Janie Laney, you can click on her name in the Twitch. I can copy and paste that over there for the YouTube folks. Janie is going to be joint streaming Crafts with Cleo and I on August 10th.
We will not be having this discussion when Janie's in the chat.
No,
just so you know.
No.
That's why we're having it
That's
now.
That's why we're having it
now. I mean, like, I think a lot of your stress comes from how you want to do things.
Yeah. Well, and that's true too. Like, you know, because I refuse to accept unpaid labor, which, once again, part of that is it would complicate my legal situation with my custody case.
Yeah.
I can't have people working for me for free. Because I'll end up paying my attorney to explain to the judge why I'm not a cult leader, and why I should be allowed to keep my kid. Or, like, I've seen suggestions that I should work in barter, but those came from international folks. Like, in the U.S., you still have to fill out, if somebody is working for you as a contractor and you're paying them in non-monetary ways, you still have to tell the IRS the value of what you paid them and the value of the work they performed. If you don't report that, then you're going to get audited. And, like, this is one of those things where I worked in webcomics before I worked in YouTube. I have seen so many web cartoonists get screwed by the IRS on stuff like this. And personally, I've had to deal with repaying $40,000 of ROTC payments to the government. So they've already got me. It took me 10 years to pay back that 40 grand I owed them. I don't want to owe the government money again. Yeah. Like, Uncle Sam is going to want their cut, and I'm going to pay it. I'm not going to... Yeah.
I was thinking more in terms of merch.
Well, that's the other thing.
Because you're just like...
Okay, yeah. So doing things like setting up a merch store are the sort of thing where I keep being too tired to do it.
But like, also, it's the whole kind of, I want to do things from Nashville kind of thing. Which I get.
Well,
and I don't...
Part of that is that I don't feel comfortable... and this is just one of those things about me, is I would rather do more freelance work I hate and postpone doing things right than do things in a way that I felt like was cutting corners.
Fair.
You know, like, at the point, and if I need to increase revenue, I could always just do more freelance work. And it will not be great for my mental health, and I won't like it as much, but I'm at this point where it's like, I'll be upset with myself.
Yeah.
If I'm running a bad merch store, or if I'm accepting VPN things. What do you call those VPN ads? Like I feel like I'm trying to do something different here, and that takes time. And I just rather not rush it. I only get I say I only get one chance to build this business, but I did just talk about, like, oh, I could just shut it down for 3 months and try again. So I don't know.
I know.
Uh,
Yeah, you're in a situation, and I have no answers.
yeah,
I'm sitting here going, I support you,
I appreciate it, Cleo.
and I don't know how much that's going to work, but
No, it's helpful. Dombeck sent 34, so that's 7, 17, 27, 34. So that's going to get us to 67. So we're up to 267 on our rotation here. We're doing rotational tip recognition.
my theme for the month is camping, guys. In case you're wondering, so like nature and camping and stuff.
Yep.
So that's where we are.
Yeah, Lyric says, I feel like having times where the Discord is closed is something you can try, and if it doesn't work, you just stop doing it. Feels a lot lower stakes than any of the other options. That's
true.
That was my gut feeling. This is reassuring to hear, because this is the first time I've talked about this, that the people I've talked to haven't been just like, Joe, that's not how the internet works.
I mean, it cannot be how the internet works and still work for you.
Yeah, because that's the thing, is it's like, it seemed like it was one of those things where people were like, Joe, people are going to think you're going on a power trip, and they're going to have a mass revolt, and, you don't have to be in control and watching all the time, you can just let it be. And it's like, well, I'm fine with letting other people keep an eye on things, but, like, I just don't have the budget for the staff time, is where I'm at. Like, I don't, like, and it's like, people have also said that having the Discord under-moderated is a concern. Like, not having, like, if I can't run it in a way that I can guarantee the safety of the people there, I should shut it down. And it feels like closing it 2 days a week, or when I go on big trips, is a lot less drastic than just shutting it down, right? But nobody else is doing it, which means that it seems more drastic.
I don't think it's particularly drastic. I just think it's a thing that you might, might work for you. Mini Cheese Mouse cheered some biddies. Red cheered biddies, Ash cheered biddies, and Echo cheered biddies. I'm turning to, well, good to have you aboard. I see where you're going with this, but I genuinely don't. I think is it unusual? Yes. Is it so unusual that it's completely going to run contrary to everyone's ethics? No.
I don't think it's unethical to shut down. I don't think it's unethical to close your family business 2 days a week.
Which is reasonable, and I think if you're not, if having it open those 2 days a week is stressing you out so hard, do it. I mean, like not even a question, okay. In my mind, you should do it. I mean, I'm sitting here, got another hype train, choo choo. Oh, thank you, thank you. I find it weird that your Discord server needs so much moderation, because mine needs hardly any.
Well, part of it is that, like, unlike a lot of servers, we don't really have an out of bounds in terms of topics, with the exception of, like, sexual content, because Discord has a lot of rules, and I don't want to deal with them. Like, so that's out of bounds. But, like, anything else, like, there's no rules against talking about politics or talking about identity issues that some people might say are political, or things like that, right? And so conversations can get messy.
Okay, you see my thing is, if you're talking about identity issues and saying they're political, that would be, you would probably not be welcome on mine.
I know, I agree with you, but what I'm saying is, though, a lot of other Discords avoid stuff like this by just saying, don't talk about anything that people, I mean, I have a don't talk about
politics section, but people are allowed to talk about their identities and stuff,
Yeah.
which is because I don't see what you identify as particularly political. So,
Well,
I also don't have a lot of people who would, how do I put it? Who would, like, people who come to me genuinely aren't people that would cause problems with that sort of thing.
well, so here's
They're
here's
just
the issue: is it's not that we've got like a bunch of round the clock moderation actions that are required, right? It's not like Twitch where there's like bots rolling in all the time, right?
yeah,
But when we do have problems, they tend to be relatively nuanced, bizarre edge cases,
yeah. No, I can
right?
feel that.
Because, and they're edge cases that a lot of other discords avoid by just saying, don't talk about politics, don't talk about anything upsetting, right?
Right.
So,
Hmm.
like, and whereas like I've explicitly, one of the things I thought created value for my Discord, one of the things I felt like I was adding value to the internet was giving people a place where they could talk about that stuff, right? But
Right.
the problem is then people are saying like, well, it's only a place where we can talk about that stuff if we know when there's a problem it will be dealt with swiftly.
Right.
And I can't deal with things
But
swiftly.
define swiftly. Define swiftly.
Uh Here's how I want it to work. Is I basically said if something is wrong, clock in, spend 15 minutes sorting it out if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for other people's opinions. They can clock in and help too. But if it takes more than 15 minutes, just ban everyone involved and I'll sort it out when I get back. If it's
That seems fair to me.
because I can't afford to pay for hours of deliberation. And
Mm-hmm.
we ran into a case over the weekend where there were hours of deliberation, and I was not okay with that because of the like almost bouncing checks thing. I was like,
Yeah.
my gosh, you guys, I am currently I think I have sorted out this banking thing. As long as there's no surprise expenses this month, I should be okay. I'm just going to go to bed. I need to take a nap before this 48-hour charity stream. Let me just make sure that everybody clocked back out and that this is handled. I don't know about the details of the situation. I just want to I'll review that on Monday after the draw for charity. But like for right now, let me just make sure that whoever filed a ticket got a response that says we either took this action or we have decided to take no action. And that was not the case. Deliberations had continued for hours, and I was like, y'all need to shut this down now. Like, I'm not familiar with the situation. I trust your judgment. Exercise that judgment. Act. And basically, the response I got was that the people who were online at the time did not feel comfortable acting with the amount of deliberation that had occurred.
Right.
Like, they needed more deliberation to act. And I'm like, I can't fund that. Please tell then please if you can't if you think that this situation requires being shut down until Monday, ban someone and I'll sort it out Monday. And if it doesn't, tell the people who filed tickets that you're not taking any action. And everybody's like, we're not satisfied with either of those. And so I sent a message to the people who filed tickets saying the staff has informed me no action is being taken at this time because that's the case. You know?
Yeah.
And then somebody else came in later, looked at that, was like, oh, we should have totally just banned this person immediately. Banned them. And then I reviewed it on Monday. I was like, yeah, this was a sound ban. Okay. But like it I can't afford hours of deliberation.
No. It's all right. What it should be is if there is a situation that they don't feel like they can instantly solve, ban everyone, wait for God to sort it out. Wait for Joe to sort it out.
Yeah, but like that's it.
Yeah. Um,
Winter 16 or Winter 83 says sounds like you need some more experienced people who can make faster judgments. Once again, we end up these are weird edge cases. And but what we need for the default to be is if it's a weird edge case, we turn it around in 15 minutes and review it in a few days.
yeah.
Like
So my mod staff is for me it's a case of they know that I genuinely have their backs, and if we have a disagreement on how things are handled, I will talk to them privately about it, and then we will change things. But when they've said I've banned this person, is that okay? I have never gone and looked at it and gone, shouldn't have banned them. Never.
Well, even if they banned the wrong person, the reason that we say when Joel will review it when he gets back is because I don't expect them to be perfect.
No.
But I do expect them to not blow my budget. Right? That's where we had the problem.
Yeah.
But
speaking
of things that will help with my budget,
out.
I have never seen this person. There are a lot of James that tip, and this is a new James. So I'm not going to read his last name because that's rude, obviously. But a different James that I've never seen before has tipped $203 all at once and 23 cents and says, "Happy birthday. Hope this helps short term." Yes. Thank you.
Yes, it will help.
It will.
Well done, thank you.
It will help. Okay, so I got the 223. Okay, so on the abacus here, 23, that's going to get us to 290, and then we need to go to 490. Woo! Okay, so we're going to go all the way to 360. I got to do some math here.
I do love it when people go, I hope this helps, and they just tip like $300 at a go. It's like, yeah, they'll do it.
That's
thank you.
Okay, 490 minus 360. So I need to go 130 degrees past all the way back around. So thank you so much, James. The reason I wanted to clarify it wasn't this we have a few regulars named James who tip, and I didn't want to panic any of them that they had accidentally sent me $200. Like, wait, was that me?
Did I do that? Oh, no.
It's like, oh no, now I'm gonna bounce checks.
It's one of those weird situations when it's just sort of like, I'm at that point where it's just a case of every time somebody gives me a lot of money, I'm like, oh, you didn't mean to give me this much. I am going to let it sit in my PayPal account for a month just to make sure that you didn't make a mistake, and I can just go, oh no, you can have that back. That's fine.
I used to
I'm at
do
that point in my
back when I had savings.
Yes.
And
understood.
I can't afford to anymore, which also terrifies me. But either way,
I'm currently at. Oh, sorry. We've got Beetlejuice situation.
Yeah.
Incoming Beetlejuice.
I was gonna say that guy's gone. Whatever his problems were, not my problems. It's me, the Beetlejuice. I've got 130 degrees to rotate through, like I'm pumping gas here. Fun fact: pumping gas was invented in the bubonic plague era as a way to unbloat corpses. That technology was later adapted into fireplace bellows and eventually the modern mechanized gas pump. That you started to really see in like the 1910s. We're up to 45 degrees angular here, and we got some other tips that rolled in. In the meantime, I'll get to those. Let's see. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of degrees angular. Can you hear the mouse wheel?
It's quite a lot. Yeah, I can hear the mouse. I could hear the mouse wheel. I don't know if they could, but I definitely could.
Alrighty.
Still going.
It's still going. I got 40 more degrees.
Sashay Away is resubscribed for 7 months. Thank you very much. And Paleo cheered 100 biddies. Thank you. I do appreciate you.
All the degrees.
Yeah. We set boundaries for a reason. Joe is draining himself because he's taking care of his Discord above himself.
Well, I mean, I've been trying to find compromise. Or no, that guy has. Yeah, I'm not. I'm the Beetlejuice. I don't run any
I'm not
Discord.
that guy. That guy.
The only
Oh,
discord is
guy
that which I
sucks. Ugh.
sow by playing the theremin far too late at night while walking down alleys. People love throwing stuff into alleys anyway, and that's just a real fun treat for everybody. Aku tips another 19, so thank you very much, Aku. Boom. So we're gonna go ahead and add another 19 degrees angular there. Appreciate you.
We appreciate you.
Is one click a degree? Not quite. This is a very bad system. Yeah.
As systems go, there is
OBS changed how their boxes worked in the UI lately. It's not ideal. Okay. Oh, I haven't even been posting the tipping link. Y'all are just really good at remembering. I should probably post that again just in case anybody wants to spin the Beetlejuice. Spin the Beetle was actually popularized well before Spin the Bottle. Oh, my phone
would like to
alerts
say
are
happy
showing up.
birthday to Joe and gift him money because it's his birthday, and this is what he's decided to stress out about on his birthday.
No, Cleo, I wanted to talk to you about this before I advance this proposal formally, because I have to advance this proposal. My plan is to advance this proposal for review on Monday, and I'm writing it up. Not today. I'm writing it up tomorrow, and this is the only chance I'm going to have to talk to you between now and
Fair enough.
Monday.
Fair enough.
So, but I will be able to enjoy my birthday more knowing that I'm in a good place to write this up tomorrow. I don't have to stress about this today, because this is actually me de-stressing about this, if that makes any sense.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. So long as we're not adding more stress on your birthday.
No. I'm trying to alleviate the stress. Sven
However,
rolls in
also,
and tips
more
66
money alleviates
and
Joe's
66
stress.
cents. What, Cleo?
I'm a good friend.
Sven says, happy birthday, Joe. Please take care of yourself. Thank you. Let's see. 1, 11, 21, 31, 41, 51, 61, 66. Boom. So that's going to get us to 140. Oh, boy. 149 plus. Okay. Actually, so the abacus because of it doesn't rotate on 100. Okay. I need to go up to 216 degrees angular. So here we go. Let's fix the abacus so it's synced better with the thing. There we go. So that's 215 degrees. Yeah, that's right. Here we go. Pumping gas. Nightshade Owl says, does Joe have a birthday candle for every year or just one? I don't really eat cake. That's something that, I let the peasants do.
Well, not even cheesecake.
No, I have a hard time digesting dairy, so cheesecake's actually.
Oh.
No,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, because there was a period of about a year and a half when I was super broke, but my employer was constantly having events where they had free cakes and pastries and stuff. And so I ate nothing but cakes and pastries because I couldn't afford food. And so it just kind of reminds me of being poor. So I tend not to.
You know what? Fair.
Yeah.
That's valid.
Yeah, I was making $25,000 a year at my first job, and I had the Navy chasing me down for $40,000, and it was rough. But the problem was my degree was in American history, and I kind of needed to just take whatever I could get in programming to bolster my resume, and so I took a job with a nonprofit that paid very little. But luckily, they threw a lot of events and had a lot of leftover cake.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I get that effect.
So that's the thing, is I have worked for places that I felt like were a good cause for way too little money, and it was terrible for me. And that's one of the reasons I don't want to let people work for free or be underpaid working for me. Because
as a teacher, I get that.
It's not okay. It was a choice because it was a nonprofit, they were willing to underpay me, but also accept that my medical issues were going to be a nonstop problem. Because my medical issues were a nonstop problem back then. I hadn't really it took me a while to dial in my exact diet of how much I eat and when, and I was experimenting a lot with what did and didn't work at the time, and so I was constantly just getting sick. It's okay, it was not good.
Just if I'm working for you, you just have to deal with it.
Yeah, but it's one of those things like, but I was willing to do a good job at something very technical, very cheap. So
Yeah,
yeah.
understood.
But like I needed to, honestly, I was at the point where I was
Thank you,
trying to
Dis.
prove to myself that I could hold any job.
Ah,
Because with those medical concerns, like my parents were like, "Well, why don't you just move back in with us? If you drive your sister to and from school, we'll call it even." And I'm like, "I cannot operate a motor vehicle right now." And they're like, "No, no, no, it's just to and from
oh,
school." And I'm like,
eesh.
"No, I will kill someone. I cannot save."
Yes.
Like, if they had not said you have to drive to come, I probably wouldn't have taken the job. I probably would have just gone back and stayed with them for
Uh
a
huh.
year or two and recovered. But the terms for me crashing with them required me doing something that would literally involve me crashing with them, and so I did not do that.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I understand. I understand. Okay. I'm trying to think, which is not my strong point. So, anyway.
okay.
Anyway, where's my brain at? Daya makes vegan cheesecake in the US.
I
I
feel like this is
don't
not
eat
a
a lot
very
of
good
vegan.
Jupiter. Okay, I need to bring that in a little bit more brown up here.
Where's my knife? Oh no. Oh no. Oh, there it is. Found it. You planning any camping trips in September? No, but maybe I will. And
But
by
if I
camping,
were,
I
I wasn't
mean
gonna tell you
directly.
about it.
I don't actually mind camping that much, but like I remember, like every time I think, oh, I'll go camping, and then I remember when I was, God, I must have been 9,
Yeah.
and me and my sister, we'd gone to a campsite with my dad, and I got very ill. I remember saying to my sister, I threw up on the double mattress we were sharing,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh.
I was like, don't turn around. And she was like, why? Turns around face to face with a pile of vomit.
Oh, jeez.
Like having to go to it must have been like a rural hospital where they gave me just like this medicine, and my dad had to cut short the week-long camping trip because I was that ill. And I have problems going camping now because I just remember being so ill. So, but I might try camping again.
Nice.
I mean, I would rather go into a B&B,
Mm-hmm.
like where there's a bed. Uh, but I do like camping.
Yeah,
If so long as
usually there's also a breakfast.
yeah, and I don't have to cook it, which is like, win,
Oh yeah, it's
win, win.
fantastic.
I do enjoy not having to cook my own food. I very rarely experience that, but I do enjoy it. McLesley, I was there in that scene. I was present. If you've not watched my video, you can see that.
Yeah, I definitely I've enjoyed getting to take my kid camping. With
Mm,
the pandemic, a lot of the organized camping stuff was kind of put on hold.
yeah.
But yeah, that's another thing. Like I want to be able to go camping and unplug and
Hmm.
not have to like not have to feel like I have overburdened people on my staff
Yeah.
while I'm gone. Like
You know what? I think if you need to, I think if you feel the need to just to not stress yourself out whilst you're enjoying your holidays, just shut it down for a bit.
yeah, I think we're gonna try it. I came into this going, Cleo, help me understand why this is a bad idea. Because everybody I talk to has told me it's a bad idea because it's the status quo. And I sometimes when people are like, that's the way it works. If
Who's been telling you it's a bad idea is the question.
I don't want to throw anyone under the bus,
Okay.
but people who know a lot about people who run Discords, people who are in this kind of world.
I mean,
Not like random strangers. Like, I'm not asking like the bus driver. Like, hey,
yeah.
would you be part of a Discord that shut down every Tuesday?
Well, if it's a case of shutting it down for a couple of days, if it's a choice between that and shutting it down forever, it's a case of, well, that's a no-brainer. If you want this thing to exist, it needs to exist in a state that it's not going to cause you stress.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though, is, like, I don't know if it is a no-brainer. Like, but, okay, I mean, honestly, but my point is this has been really reassuring, because, like, when people say, like, that's the way things are done, but, like, I don't understand why things are done that way. It's hard for me to wrap my head around it. I'm like, and so, like, I feel like talking through this has been really helpful.
Yeah, I mean, like, I always am a subscriber of the something is better than nothing philosophy. I mean, I have had instances where I've been wanting to close down my Discord, and usually it's been brought on by the fact that people have been horrible. And they, like, everyone was arguing and nothing was going well, and then I had a mass exodus at one point of people that were like screaming, expecting my time, and wanting me to punish people who I didn't think should be punished, that sort of thing. And it was just sort of like, and then they left, and then I was just like, oh, I don't actually need to close this down. I just needed to get rid of, because I am a very soft touch. I don't know if you know this about me, Joe, but I find making decisions that impact other people very difficult. But as soon as they left, and like the instigators and all the people that were causing hassle, like, my life just got easy, and it was just sort of like, I just need to ban people or just tell them off, like, as soon as something causes a problem. And as soon as I'd done that, as soon as I started living that way, my life became so much easier.
Yeah.
It was just sort of like, no. But yeah, no, I've had that instance.
Point Break Lord of Thunder says, I don't know about your specific situation. I recommend speaking to your bank or credit unions about debt consolidation. You may be paying down debt longer, but you'll pay less per month. I'm not in debt now. I was in debt when I got out of school, and then I spent a decade paying it off. But no. The problem is, I burned through my savings during that 3-month Hermitcraft hiatus, and I haven't rebuilt them. So, yeah, that's a separate thing. Okay, let's go ahead and read. We got a thing here from Leslie for 7, who says, Happy birthday, Joe. So, thank you, Leslie. Let's go ahead and rotate the camera 7 degrees. That's gonna
Thank you, Moonglaive, who's resubscribed for 9 months. You have your Twitch baby. Thank you very much.
Okay, Cleo, I gotta warn you. I got like 5 more of these that just rolled
I only had the one, which is why I started saying.
No, please do.
No, that was the one.
Withervane just tipped 15. It says, Bloated Corpse Tidbit brought me out of Excel spreadsheet torpor. I needed that. Happy birthday. Well, thank you very much for the 15. That's going to bring us up to 237 here. We'll rotate.
It's my life.
Okay. Moving down. Justin tips 10, who says, tip to keep Joe playing with the abacus instead of crafts, also for supporting art or whatever, I guess. Thank you. That's going to bring us up to 247 degrees of rotation.
I like the whatever. Specifically whatever.
Specifically whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very specifically.
Oh.
Kaylee tips 7, who says, resting is so important, but the people who have the resources to do so forget that privilege when they recommend it. Hope you find a sustainable balance soon. Thank you so much, Kaylee. So let's go ahead and add another 7 there. That's going to bring us up to 254.
Tell me when you're done.
And then, Butterfly Girl KMC rolling in with a big one. Here's a full 100. Let's flip the abacus there. Boom. So I'm going to be pumping gas for a little while on this. Let me read the message while I do that. Thank you, Butterfly Girl KMC, who writes, Happy birthday, Joe. I hope this helps a bit. It does. Like, it really does. Like, yeah. I really appreciate it. So we're gonna go up to. I think that's gonna bring us to 355. So give
Make
me a
sure you
second.
put
We're
the
at
word
288 now.
birthday in your afternoon stream.
What was that,
Just
Cleo?
saying. Make sure you put the word birthday in your afternoon stream.
Oh, yeah. No, so the afternoon stream, we're actually going to be doing two things. We're going to be unveiling the theme for my pinball machine for the
Uh-huh.
Mega Base. And then, so in the future, I'm going to be drawing probably a lot of stuff based on that theme on our art streams. Like
Right.
I'm gonna brainstorm like the art for the sides of the machine and the back box and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
like the translate and everything, during the graph streams. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then we're gonna record a segment where I unveil the theme for my next episode, and then we're also going to Badger's gonna be my in studio guest to read the Cask of Amontillado along with me,
Oh.
and
That's the Montiel Wild do.
I think yeah I Amontillado. Whoa. So I'm very excited about having Badger in studio for that. Hey, Kingsley tipped 10. Thank you, Kingsley, who wrote Happy Birthday, Joe. That's going to get us up to 365. Oh, no, that's more than... I got to go do another costume change. Be right back. Thank you, Kingsley.
Excellent. That means I get a chance to thank my people.
Yeah, you do that. I'll be back. I got to mute.
Okay, you go. Thank you, Moongleam, for resubscribing for 9 months, which I've already thanked you for. And Moonglaive was gifted 5 community gift subs. Thank you so much. Min Cheese Mouse Chid Bitty says, I'm almost in a position where I can support you both on Patreon, even if I'm likely to join the servers. We do appreciate that. That does make a difference. Thank you so much. Again, I am always of the opinion that you need to take care of yourself first before you can, like, you've got to do Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You've got to make sure that you've got food, water, shelter, basic emotional depth with people, and then you can start worrying about the aesthetics and supporting the arts and thanks. And Karasa has gifted 5 community gift subs, very much appreciated. What happens to the crowding of Monty Awadowo was joking. That was a joke, but it would be funny. OP Chicken has resubscribed for 2 months. Thank you so much indeed. Looking forward to having a stable income. Look, stable income is like as we're discussing, it's a very important thing. If you don't have it, you need to take care of yourself first. That's always been my opinion. That's what I will always tell people. But yeah, if once you've got your own basic needs met, you can start trying to support other people potentially. As a new mum, I couldn't agree more. You need to come first, or your whole world will crumble. Yeah, as a new mum, respect. You need to be able to, before you can give of yourself, there needs to be a self to give. A lot of people have a lot of problems, and they just sort of like, I'm going to try and take care of this full other human being whilst my own world has shattered. Doesn't work.
That was my favorite part of the divorce, Cleo. Let me tell you. Hey, thank you, Jacob Capper, for tipping 5, who says, oh, wait, I don't need to use this voice anymore. I'm not the Beetlejuice. I'm Jomez Adams now. I've got my pinstripe suit on. And Jacob Capper says, Happy birthday, Joe, from Jacob and Emma. Thank you. That's going to get us to 10 degrees angular. Oh, boy. Yep. OBS is like, hold on. OBS is throwing a fit. You start messing with the camera enough, and it starts being like, why?
You know what? I've never had a problem with messing with camera, so I don't understand, Joe.
Well, maybe one day you will, Cleo, if you're lucky. Increda Mike rolling in and tipping 50, right? And happy birthday, Joe. Thank you so much, Increda Mike.
Maybe one day I will do a face camera.
Kingu says, does this mean you're going to tango with Badger? Actually, getting real dance lessons on the tango so we can do better Gomez and Morticia stuff. Like, honestly, like, if I could afford it, I would want to go full Christine McConnell and buy an aging house in upstate New York and do renovation videos in like my, like, just, I would go full Addams Family lifestyle. Like, people are always like, Joe, it's weird to me that you're familiar with goth music. And I'm like, because I wear colors? Like, oh, what? Okay. Because I don't like makeup? Mark, Demented MK, tips 5, who says, supporting the arts and Joe as I do supporting the arts and Joe in particular as I occasionally do from the Washington, D.C. area. Thank you very much, Mark. That's going to get us another 5 degrees.
You know, one thing I would really like to try out sometime is doing vlogs. You know, just like not day-to-day vlogs, but like I'm looking to buy a house next year.
Yeah.
And I would like to be in a position to, one, buy a house, but two, also go through that process and just like maybe on another channel that nobody knows what it is. Do it secretly.
Oh yeah. You could use your Cockney voice. Speaking of which, Jory Rocks, who famously has a Cockney accent, tipped another 5 and says, "Happy birthday, Joe!" That wasn't even close. Close. Gets us to 70 degrees.
I'm proud that you tried.
I did try. Okay, we got another one. Roll it in from second for 30, who says, "Happy birthday, Joe." Woo, that's going to get us up to 100. Dee. Thank you, Cameron.
Yay, Joe.
Okay.
I hope I'm safe and well after all this hot weather. That
was a parrot accent, not a Cockney accent. Dang it.
Seriously, the weather these last couple of days has been excessive, and I died for like a good 2 days. Like my other half can attest to just how grumpy I was. I said, look, I know we talk every day, and I'm okay with talking for like 5 minutes, but if we talk for any longer than 5 minutes, I'm going to get angry because I don't like talking to anyone when I'm too hot. So we were just like, we'll have a 5-minute conversation where Cleo can be civil, and then we'll just move on with our lives and we'll talk on Wednesday, and we'll watch stuff together. So yeah, I haven't spoken to my other half really for like not properly for like 2 days. We text, but you know, it's just sort of like, no, I just couldn't manage it.
Well, I'm glad things are working well enough with your whatever your current cooling solution is for us to do this stream, because I've been looking forward to this, and this has been really helpful and a treat.
Yeah.
I got some more I got to thank. Rotation tips another 5, who says, "Happy birthday, Joe." So we're up to 105 degrees angular. It says, "Please be selfish. Do what's best for you and your health in regard to the Discord. There is no community without you." I think there could be. I don't want to be indispensable, and maybe I'm delusional in that I don't want to be indispensable, and it's impossible. Maybe I'm so vital that I couldn't.
The community has formed around you. I wouldn't say you are essential, but I would say you are very important.
I would love to be non-essential and then just be able to go camping. Alexander Shubin tips 5 and says, "Happy birthday, Joe." Woo! So that's going to get us up to 110. Okay. But yeah, no, Cleo, I'm not joking about like doing like haunted house retrofit as a YouTube series. Like, that would be one of those like best case scenario things. But like by that point, you know what? I would be kicking myself if I hadn't already been practicing the tango. Like I can't afford the haunted house now, but I can start the tango lessons.
You can.
Yeah.
You can, and I would love to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, Badger can only visit for brief periods of time, though, so that's inconvenient. But yeah,
I mean, yeah, really. Wondering how melted you've been. I'm so, like to be honest, today it dropped 15 degrees in temperature, and for America, like 30 degrees ish. So, you know, compared to yesterday, I'm just dealing with like a fan that's not even on high. It's been wonderful. Free lessons from YouTube, they suggested, my chat.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I could look up or I could have Corrales teach me in Minecraft. I'm sure he knows how to tango. Oh, or I could have Tango Tech. I bet Tango Tech actually knows how to tango, right?
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my god! Look,
So you
there's
just
a
need to
whole
hire
thing
him
here.
for just generic lessons.
Hold on,
And then
hold on,
just say,
hold
yeah,
on.
I want to learn to.
Like I think there's a whole thing here where I'm like, Etho, you're famous in the Minecraft community. You're great at everything. Can you teach me how to tango? And he's like, there's a guy on the server whose whole identity is built around his ability to tango well, but I am better at it than him. So yes, I will teach you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But actually, you know what? If I went out to Arizona to hang out with Tango
Hmm.
and Impulse, because I know sometimes they've had guests and stuff before, I would want him to teach me to use hockey skates. Because
Oh,
I have never used hockey skates before in my life. I've always used figure skates, and apparently Tango and
okay,
Mrs. Tango have taken up hockey, and
Oh,
like
ice hockey.
ice okay, and so yeah, if I went there or Tango came here, I would definitely want to do an ice skating meetup. But
Perfect.
that's not like on the calendar or anything, but that's just one of those like sometime in the next few years I'll end up in Arizona at some point, because like there's got to be like some convention in Arizona that I could try and get invited to or something. Then it would be a business expense. Was Mrs. Tango actually a
Yeah.
tango instructor? I can't. There's stuff like that where I'm just like, that could be correct.
That feels like
It's like, are you
but
describing
I
the
don't
plot
know
of an
if it is.
anime? Like, it's like he was the reticent student. Yeah, it's a business expense if I consult with another creator regardless. Yeah, but like being able to show, there's kind of one of those things where it's like, how likely are you to get audited?
Mhm.
Having the line item, travel expenses for appearing as a guest of this convention is the sort of
Yeah.
thing where somebody at the IRS can real quickly Google that and go, okay, that's legit. Right? Like it's kind of one of those things where there's certain thresholds for plausibility where it's like, oh, I would win this in the end anyway, but like I don't
Yeah.
want to have to defend it. It's
I don't want to. I don't want to be audited.
Yeah, but
Generally
also
speaking.
the other thing is if I'm going to go all the way to Arizona, I would want to have the opportunity for fans from that area to come hang out, and it's easier to do that at a convention, So
Yeah.
timing the trip so I could hang out with Tango the same time there's like a sci-fi or gaming convention in town
Hmm.
is just it takes a lot of the infrastructure burden off of Tango as the host. He doesn't have to be like, let's find a coffee shop to do a meetup at, right? He can just say,
Yeah.
hey, we're going to be at this convention.
So my quote for September is camping because therapy is expensive.
That's pretty good.
Yes.
I
I
like
enjoyed that one. I like that one. I'm easily entertained.
Okay.
Mm. Nice.
Yeah, it was really fun playing Among Us with Mrs. Tango. That was the first time I've gotten to play anything with her. She's really cool.
She's great. She's great. I watched her do cooking in the past. It's just hilarious.
Oh yeah, I'm really glad that we got to do that. Thank you again, Cleo,
Yeah.
for showing up for Draw for Charity, and thank you to everybody here who contributed or watched over the weekend. Like that has been, I wasn't being dramatic earlier when I was saying like that has been one of the best things I'm a part of in my life.
Mhm.
Like the people I work with on that are fantastic people who I care about deeply. I've known them all for years, and I'm so fortunate to get to work with them on that event. And seeing my friend Pasta, who is one of the founders of the event, just grow and thrive in this new way has been just so rewarding, and like getting to see everybody who works on the project just push themselves and like have concrete results to show for it in all these different ways is like it makes me feel like the world can really suck a lot,
Yeah.
right? Like the last few
Right.
years, the last decade, let's say, has been really challenging, and the last few years in particular have been really, really challenging. And I mean, everything since 9/11 was terrible. But okay, I don't want to say, I don't want to blame all of this on 9/11 because some of it goes back to Reagan and Bush 1. But really, we've been kind of having a time, and just
having a day.
yeah, just having something like that in my life is just such a powerful anchor. Something where it's like, okay, not everything has to be terrible forever. We have proof. We are accomplishing things that are very challenging. And we're doing so because a ton of people are coming together and cooperating and trying to make a difference. That encourages me to think that there are other things that people could come together and cooperate on and make a difference, right? Like, it's really, it's one of the most encouraging events of the whole year for me. And
we are being uplifting.
Yeah, it's so fantastic. So thank you, Cleo, for being a part of that. And it, like I said, it's a chance for me to hang out with my friends and to make new friends, like Mrs. Tango. Like yeah, I'm super excited, and I let her know, like, hey, if you're doing any charity stuff or anything like that, you need an extra player, you reach out to me. I would be happy to do it. So
like when we went offline and I was told, like, you should do this like a lot more, and I'm like, She says, you've got a talent for it. I mean, like, do I have a talent for lying? Yes, I do.
And murder. Cleo's 2 skills in one game. But yeah, it's.
But it was just sort of like, oh, that's so nice. I don't know how that makes me feel, but it's so nice.
Yeah, and like, one of the big things is, like, this year I just wasn't as involved with the planning and behind the scenes stuff, and like everybody else on the team is super competent and able to do that without me, because I'm not exactly famous for my organizational skills anyway. But like, I feel like I really want to get my life together so I have the capacity to do the on-screen talent stuff, but also, like, I didn't, I want to help on the whole thing more. Mm-hmm. And right now, like, everybody recognized, Joe, you're overextended. Show up for the event, retweet it. We'll take care of everything.
Get your friends, and then
invite your friends for your stuff, but like, just don't worry. Like, and I didn't worry. That was something, like, well, and that's the other thing too, is I don't want people thinking I'm incapable of delegating or incapable of letting things go. Like, I was 100% confident that team was going to pull off an amazing event. Because they had the resources to do it. And that's, I want to make sure that anybody else that I ask to cover for me also has the resources to do it. Like.
Yeah, no, I absolutely understand.
Demented MK. No, I don't think you're wrong.
Thank you, NJ.
There's no politics rule here. If you're being a jerk to people, then there's, like, don't be a jerk rules. But, like, I don't think your assessment of world events is inaccurate or misleading in any way. So. Mr. Hardlick says, Joe, you've been my model for organization of the past year. Yeah. I mean, so that's the thing too, though, is, like, basically my organizational model is have so many safety nets that as I fall through them, I slow my descent enough that I have time to weave them into parachutes. But, like, almost bouncing checks this week made me realize, like, I'm running out of safety nets. Everything I've been doing to try to make sure that I'm resilient, I'm like, I'm too close to the bottom, and I'm running out of safety nets, and I'm not better prepared now to deal with it than I was a year ago. Like, something has to change. Yeah. But yeah, Blazegurt says, Joe, that's such a cool and worrying analogy. Keeping it real
Yep.
here, apparently. Hella awesome name. Rolling in with 7 says, wishing you all the best. You've been genuinely inspiring. Thank you. I try. You know.
I love that you have this great camaraderie through Minecraft, and from being a content creator can get really lonely sometimes. You have to remember that we've been building this up since what? We've been doing this 10 years now together?
Yeah, well, I've been doing Minecraft since 2011. That's when I met Cleo. And I was making stuff
11
online
years,
starting
sorry.
in 2005. I was trying to be a full-time web cartoonist basically since 2005, and I never succeeded at that. But you know, but I learned a lot in that attempt that prepared me to not screw up my YouTube thing. Like I didn't sign with a bad network because I saw
I
web
did.
cartoonists do that. I didn't screw up
I
my
did.
taxes because I saw a bunch of web cartoonists do that. Like,
Didn't do that.
yeah.
I signed up with an MCN at one point. Fortunately, I managed to get out because it was one of those ones where I wasn't like the big partner. I
Yeah.
was just one of their little affiliates, so they just went, "Go away.
Well,
You're
and
not
that,
earning us money anyway."
yeah, that's the thing is I talked to one of like a major YouTube person at the time at a convention, like back in like probably 8 or 9 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Somebody with a big YouTube channel. They still have a big YouTube channel, but they were saying that the MCN people kept trying to call him up and get him to sign with them, and eventually they were like, "We will come to your home city and buy you lunch. We will fly to you and buy you lunch to have a conversation about this," because he's just like, because he kept telling them, "I don't have time for that. I don't have time to talk to you." And they're like, "You eat lunch. We will fly to you. We will pick you up. We will take you to lunch, and we will talk." And he's just like, "Okay, if they're willing to spend the money to fly to me, they must be pretty serious." And he's just basically like, "I don't see how this is going to make me money. I'm already successful. What's the business model here?" And the business model is, we will pay you more than you would make otherwise, because having you on our roster gives us legitimacy that lets us get a bunch of money from other people we don't deserve.
There it is.
And so when it's like, well, how could this network be bad? So-and-so famous person signed with them. That person got overpaid to help us scam.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it's like, if you're not one of the big names, you're getting scammed. And if you are one of the big names, you might not understand it, but you might be helping a scam, right? Like, this guy was smart enough to drill down in that lunch discussion and say, there's no way the math works on this. There's no way you could afford to pay me what you're saying you would pay me. And they had to...
I got caught with this. By the way, thank you, Keeleon, for the 1687. Love your content, both Minecraft and these Sanctuaries. Thank you very much. But I got caught by it because the way they were thinking is like, I was very convinced I wasn't very like I have imposter syndrome, yeah. I was very convinced that I wasn't legitimate, and it that's what they fed on. You know, they fed on the desire for legitimacy in my case, and made a big mistake. Fortunately, I got out of it. I mean, one of the hermits has only just got out of their MCN because they had to shut down because they're all shutting down now.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's one of those things that once they get you and they get their contract with clause on you, it's so difficult to get out. I was so lucky that it only took me a year.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I remember there was one hermit who talked about how he sent them a message saying, "Hey, I would like to leave my contract." And they're like, "You have to give us 60 days notice." And he's like, "Yeah, my contract is up about 3 months from now." And they're like, no, your contract requires you give us precisely 60 days notice.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Okay, well, when is that?" And they're just like, "You can go look at the contract and figure it out yourself. We're not going to tell you when you can end the contract. You should have a copy. Do the math." And it's like,
it's so dodgy. It's so dodgy.
Yeah.
And like I don't fault anybody who gets into that, but particularly in the early days. But it's scummy. It's scummy.
It is.
And it's one of those reasons that that's the biggest regret I have on YouTube, because having like all your money taken,
Mm-hmm.
I think I signed off for like 45%. No, couldn't have been that high, 40% or something. And it was just sort of like having that money taken. I'm like, well, what are you doing for me? We're promoting you. Where? I would like to see this promotion. Oh no, you can't, but it's out there. And it's like, oh, I got scammed, you know?
Yeah.
And
Like,
it's just, yeah.
yeah. And so like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't I don't even know how we got onto this.
I
This is
don't know
like
how we got onto this, but yeah, this is
like
like,
this is like 8 steps removed from everything else, but somehow this is also the most depressing part. Like,
yeah.
but yeah, like people are really as an artist, it's really hard to build a business without accidentally selling your business.
Mm-hmm.
Those MCNs, their whole goal is to just eat up YouTube channels. There was a like, you know how Penny Arcade is very successful now, and they run several conventions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot from their mistakes to avoid making my own, because they accidentally sold the rights to their work twice, and had to wrestle them back when they were in their starting off days. And it's just like, oh, I didn't realize that contract basically sold everything that we've ever made. And it's like, well, that's why the contract was confusing.
Yeah. That's why you need lawyers.
Yeah, then you need like business people, and you can't just go like, oh, okay, this seems fine. Oh, we know these guys. It's like, yeah, meh.
You know these guys until there's money on the line.
Yeah,
That's what I found.
you've got to really protect yourself, and that's like,
And people find that hard to do. I find that hard to do. Like I say, I'm quite a soft touch. If people need my help, I will generally just go, yeah, sure. And if people ask me something, I will go, yeah, sure. Like getting emails every day in my you know, that kills me, because there's lots of people that just like ask for your help and stuff.
mm-hmm.
And like I barely answer anybody, even when it's people like saying, you know, I mean, I told you about the right wing Boy Scout or Girl Scout group. Did I tell you about that?
That really feels like something I would remember.
Oh, well, I got a message. I didn't end up responding to them because I found it like personally difficult to do it without going off. Um, but yeah, they have Patriot in their name.
Okay, that's
So
a great sign. It's
yeah.
even more
No,
terrifying in England, right?
yeah, like that they asked me to send a letter or token to one of their girls who was becoming like the equivalent of Eagle Scout. And I'm just like, I looked up, like, when as a Brit, when you see the word patriot in a thing, you think that feels fashy,
That can't be
you know.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was right, and it was just sort of like, and the way they talked to me didn't feel good either. The way they demand, that was basically a demand.
It's like, this girl has
And it was,
accomplished something fantastic, and you need to recognize it because you're one of her heroes.
yeah,
Validate our
yeah.
organization for this
Hmm.
child. And it's like, well, I
Yeah,
want to congratulate this child because it's nice that they accomplished something, but also
yeah,
I need to encode the words "you are in a right-wing cult run" at the by in the letters on the left column of the
yeah.
letter here. You know.
And it was I found it incredible. I ended up not responding at all because I didn't know how to do it,
Yeah.
because I couldn't get through to her in a way that she would necessarily understand.
Yeah.
But it's just sort of like, they can't have looked me up, because you know they have a policy about real girls on their website. Um and you know, and like they left the Boy Scouts because the Boy Scouts let LGBT scouts into their ranks, you know. So it, like, all of these, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't know who I am.
Yeah.
You don't know who I am.
I'm actually very glad that the Boy Scouts of America has been making policy changes and advances, because scouting was really a big part of my life as a child,
Hmm.
and I drifted away from the organization as they dug in more on the right-wing stuff and, basically cut off contact entirely. I wasn't donating or being involved
No.
or anything. And now that they've opened it up to young women and they're improving their policies on sexuality and stuff like that, like, it's not where it needs to be yet, but, like, they're making enough progress to where I feel like I could be involved on some level by, like, having my kid be enrolled and working with the other parents at the local level to push better policies, like,
Yeah.
and that's helpful, I think. And if it becomes unhelpful, if it becomes clear that it's a dead end, I'm gonna disconnect again. But
but like, as soon as I looked at their website and I saw the phrase, I don't think it was real women. I think it was biological girls, and I'm just like, we don't.
Yeah, that's not.
It's just like, I am not going to support you in any way because I physically cannot. The transphobia is just like.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking at this name and I'm like, I know this name. I'm like 90% sure that this is NJ Coffee Junkie. And I know I should know her name. This is how tired
you should know the name of your employees. Yes.
Yeah, because like I'm like, how do I know this name? And it says can't make the stream later because I have a dentist appointment. It's like NJ had a dentist appointment. Okay, so I'm up to like 95% confidence now. This is alarming. Okay.
Yeah.
But the person that I'm gonna assume is NJ Coffee Junkie, and apologies if not, sings "Happy Birthday." Or wait, no, hold on. What's the tune of this? Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you, to you. Happy birthday, Joe. Can't make the stream later, Dennis. So here's a little something to celebrate your day now. Enjoy, and then tips 50. So thank you, NJ. Let's see. We were at 117, so that brings us up to 167. Yeah. Okay. This is this is my day. Is throughout my day, just little things happen where I'm like, I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting stuff done, and then something happens like that, and I'm like, my brain is broken. I am not okay.
NJ says, "Oh my God, Joe, that is me."
Okay.
So that was
okay.
Oh, Shan Hoot has resubscribed for 3 months. Welcome back. Good to have you here.
Okay. Oh boy.
The thing is, I don't even think Joe knows my real name.
No, I know it now because you sent it to me for some reason. There was some reason you were like, and I don't know if it was because I was like saying something related to names that was like weirdly close to yours, or
there is a name that is weirdly close to my surname.
Yeah, or something where like
I'll tell you it afterwards, but yeah.
No. You told me what your actual name was at some point, and I don't remember why, because it wasn't that I was mailing you something or anything.
No. My parents didn't name you Zombie. I'll be honest with you, my name isn't even Cleo.
Yeah.
That is just my chosen name. Based on a roleplay character that I did in... Weird. That's blown your mind.
Queen Dark Lady says, my brain has been doing that for at least 2.5 years. Like, mostly fine, but saying fridge instead of freezer or living room instead of dining room. Yeah, I tried to tell Badger that I had put something in the green hamper the other day. Or I was trying to say blue hamper, but I said green hamper. There is no green hamper. There's no green hamper in the apartment. And Badger's like, are you looking at something green right now? Is your brain just filling in the gap with something in front of you? And I'm like frantically scanning the room and there's nothing green. I was in the one part of the apartment where there's nothing green and I'm like, no, this is bad.
I'm having a stroke. Please help.
Chloe the Great and Powerful, thank you very much for tipping another 7, who says, an extra tip on behalf of my sister, wishing you a happy birthday. Thank you so much. We're going to rotate that camera another 7 degrees now. 173. Okay. I'm not colorblind. I worked as a graphic designer for many years.
Not colorblind, just having a stroke.
Yeah. But yeah, somebody's like, Joe, if you get a chroma green hamper, you'll never find it.
No, that's the only hamper that Joe will find.
Yeah. From Ad Astra, thank you for the 3. Who says, happy birthday. Thanks for appreciating my stellar photography or star pictures. I posted a link of more of them in the spam photos channel on the Discord. I actually saw those this morning. They were spectacular. Like, you are killing it with that stellar photography, Ad Astra. And I hope you keep it up. That's going to put us 3 away from the next face camera expansion. So, brain melted.
Boonerisms, lethologica, etc. have gotten worse for a lot of people during the pandemic, especially worse for people who actually caught COVID.
Oh, yeah, I definitely had COVID at one point. So, great. That's both reassuring and worse somehow.
It's not just me having a brain fart. It's
like,
me having a medical brain fart.
It's like, oh no, if a non-trivial percentage of society is experiencing what I'm experiencing right now, we're in trouble. Incredible Mike writes, that is some stellar photography.
Love it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just...
Taste and smell hasn't come back either. It's been a wild, sad ride. Honestly, you might be better off, Keelion, than for some people whose sense of taste did come back and came back wrong. Because there is a non-zero percentage of people that had COVID and everything they eat tastes like sewage.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm. And they're physically, they're basically now anorexic because eating food just makes them want to vomit.
Ugh, that is
every single
miserable.
time.
Ugh. Like, yeah, I don't know. One thing I haven't tried yet on my list of things I haven't tried yet is I try to keep some extra weight on because with my digestive problems, if I fast, I can increase my cognitive abilities. I'm basically stupider than I should be most of the time because I ate within the last 24 hours. And so, like, basically, like, it's weird. Like, I can not eat for a few days and be better at planning and plan things in such a way that I won't be too stupid to follow through on the plan. And this is actually something that comes up in a Brandon Sanderson book. But I try to not do it on purpose. I try to it usually only kicks in when I just am so stressed out by whatever I'm trying to solve. I just stop eating and then I realize I've started fasting. And that happened like early on in the divorce process. And
yeah,
I was able to create a plan with my attorney that I successfully navigated the custody problems there for the most part. But like, one thing I haven't tried is extreme fasting in order to come up with a better plan.
Yeah, no, don't.
And I'm thinking I should keep that one in reserve. But in terms of like, I am making a list of things I considered trying but chose not to. That actually should probably go on the list.
Yeah. I would also like to say that I am not belittling the fact that you have no taste and sense of taste. I think that's terrible. I'm just trying to give you could be worse kind of deal. I just wanted to make that clear, kind of, because I'm not belittling the fact that you have no taste. That's awful, and I understand. But at least it doesn't taste like sewage.
Aviva says, keep that one in the never box, Joe.
Sorry, what was that?
Aviva says, keep that one in the never box. Well, I'm not going to say never, because like I said, sometimes if I'm in a situation so stressful that I don't have the chance to eat, I get there anyway. But yeah.
So what you're saying is we can tell when Joe's had food in the morning, because if he hasn't had food in the morning, he's a lot more intelligent.
And I'm more energetic. It's like I I like
Well, you've
it,
got your gut stuff that slows you down, don't
yeah,
you?
yeah.
So that
So
makes
basically,
sense.
there's this kind of thing where it's like if I'm not super careful about eating exactly when I need to, I'm gonna have some
Hmm.
problems at first. But if
Hmm.
I ride through that, eventually my digestive system just gets a break, and it's just like I feel like a
Nice
fog is
deal.
lifted. It's like, oh wow, this is fantastic. But
Yeah. Nobility enjoying good reality check. Didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, no, it's a thing. I've been reading up on it because when I got COVID, I was like, oh no, everything bad's going to happen to me. Nothing bad happened to me except I was very tired. So I was catastrophizing on the
yeah,
worst way. So I'm just like, this is what I need. I do that though. There's like I'm very much like I need to read up on it so I can know what I'm to be prepared for. So yeah. So my one of my family members has a medical thing yesterday on
I'm
like the
sorry.
hottest day of the year. So it was great.
Great timing
Perfect
for that.
time. Yeah. Um and he was miserable, but my brain was just like, you've got to learn everything there is to know about this kind of biopsy and what's going to happen and all that sort of stuff. And it was like, oh, so my brain is kind of like, okay, now you know.
Yeah,
Now you know what the worst that could happen is. You can actually
you can prepare.
solve all these problems if they come up,
Yeah,
and you'll be fine.
yeah,
So I want to say it's not catastrophizing, but it is. It's just catastrophizing in a way that's going to help me in the future if everything happens. Cleo MD, not MD. Just I need to know this for my own mental health, because if I know about it, then I can when it inevitably happens, because that's how my brain thinks. I am prepared.
yeah.
So even though it's probably never going to happen, but if it does,
Yeah, I mean, well, and that's the thing too. Is it's like, Joe, you don't need to be prepared for, rising fascism or a global pandemic. You don't need that many canned goods, that sort of thing. And it's like, well, I mean, we do have tornadoes, and the power can go out for days at a time here. I feel like maybe I should be ready for at least tornadoes, and
yeah.
but hey, it looks like we got rising fascism and a global pandemic too. So, you know, that wasn't completely wasted time.
I actually don't have like I'm not apocalypse ready. I
Well,
have a plan, but I don't have like the canned goods or anything, because I don't eat canned goods and they do eventually go out of date,
yeah, they
you
do.
know? So like
Well, and that's the thing though, is I'm not like this. I don't have
I'd
like
give
a
myself food
year's
poisoning.
worth of emergency supplies, but like I could write out a
No.
couple weeks, right? Because we've
Yeah.
we've had interruptions to power and water and things like that, and
Hmm.
you know, um,
I mean, if it was a zombie apocalypse, I feel like I'm more prepared than most people, because,
you
my
have
brain
several
just automatically.
hatchets.
I do. A lot of my tools are battery operated,
Mm-hmm.
so instead of mains. So
A lot of my chat saying in a long-term apocalypse, it's better to know how to grow your own food. Yeah, you also need access to
which I can do.
land. Like that's one thing in the city is in some ways it's harder to be prepared for like a situation like they had in Texas where there was all that extreme cold for like 2 weeks or whatever, and a bunch of people's pipes
Yeah.
burst and stuff. If you live in the city, you're at the mercy of your apartment building. But if you live
Hmm.
in the country, you can have your own propane tank, right?
Yeah.
And like
See.
so there's limits to where I'm just kind of like if my landlord says, "Well, the city isn't going to have power for a while." There's nowhere for me
Mm.
to set up like properly ventilated internal kerosene heater here. Like
Yeah.
it.
You see, I would be very useful in an apocalypse of like in a proper apocalypse where loads of people die,
Yeah.
because I have like I know a lot of how like chemistry works. I mean, I'm very much a jack of all trades kind of
Mm-hmm.
deal. But I know I have the sciences about how chemistry would work, so I can deal with, I can get clean water. I understand how pathogens work, and I could probably do a decent job, you know, as a sort of temporary healer. I
Mm-hmm.
know a lot about plants. I know a lot about like animals and you know, and sustainability and stuff like that. I would be very useful to have around. I'm not obviously not the be all and end all, but I am useful.
Yeah, I have a lot of outdoor skills and first aid training and stuff like that that
Yeah.
would be helpful in any emergency scenario. That's why
Yeah.
you get training like that. Real quick, I want to thank Keelion420, who says birthday wishes from Keelion. That makes sense with that being your name and everything. Thank you. That's going to put
Yay.
us up to 196 rotation. I was going to say, we're actually on the hour.
Oh,
Uh,
yes, Joe.
Yeah, sorry, we're on the hour, and I've got to go live at 1 with the Badger. So that's 2 hours from
Mm-hmm.
now. The Hermitcraft birthday stream is going to start. Um, so I think if I'm going to have lunch and have it digested enough to be sane for the stream, I need to go prepare that now. Normally, I don't do a stream right after this Cleo one, so we can kind of go long. Any tips that come in after this stream, I will thank folks for during the next stream. Obviously, in this house, we follow Groundhog Day rules, so the camera is not going to reset between the two streams. 6 a.m. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania time is when that goes on. I also have to do the math and translate where we are. Let's see, how far are we past 360? So I guess we are 3 Jomez Adam face camera expansions in. Well, that was easier math than I thought. Dividing 196 by 3 or by 50 mod. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So I need to
All right, Joe.
get
I'm going to
going.
hang up. Happy birthday, and I hope you have a good day.
Thank you, Cleo. This was really fun. It was nice. Like honestly, like I know we were talking about a lot of stressful stuff, but this was a huge stress relief. Like I feel
Well, I'm
like
glad.
you and everybody here talking about this with me has really helped me kind of figure out how to get back on track. And
Okay.
I genuinely came out of this birthday stream believing next year is going to be better than this year, and that is a fantastic
Yay.
gift. So thank
I'm
you,
glad.
everyone. And I will be back in 2 hours to reveal the theme of my Pinball Mega Base, and we're going to read The Cask of Amontillado with Badger Spanner in studio. So, Cleo, thank you again. I will talk to my chat. You
Very
talk to
welcome.
yours.
And I will see you later. Happy birthday. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, chat. Okay, but well, another tip just rolled in before. Whoa. Okay, more tips. We're gonna do all the tips that roll in before the end of the stream. So we got another 7 rolling in from Cavman, who says, "Happy birthday, Joe." No, sorry, another 20. Oh my gosh. That's gonna bring us to 207 degrees. Woo! So thank you, Cavman. And then we got another 20 from David, who says, "Happy birthday." Thank you, David. That's gonna get us to 227 here. Boop. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change into the green screen suit and tie for the next stream. If I'm the real Jomez Adams has the tie and everything. This is the quick change Jomez with just the pinstripes. But okay. So thank you all so much. This has been a fantastic stream. Uh-oh, Cleo's thing is ending. I need to find someone to raid. Cleo has good judgment though. Let me see if any of this. I like to raid the smaller channels my friends have. If they're playing something I think is going to be okay, here we go. Hup Pinball is playing, looks like Stranger Things. I think we're gonna go ahead and raid Hup Pinball, get y'all in the mood for pinball later, because we're gonna be talking about my big pinball machine. When you get there, our raid message is, "Howdy y'all, Joe Hill's raid here." If you like Stranger Things, the Stranger Things pinball machine is really well designed. There's some really interesting design choices. I think you'd be interested to learn about it. There's a Demigorgon that you can attack by shooting the pinball into its face, like through the central cavity. Anyway, until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Do 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 do. And I need to hit stop streaming because it doesn't actually end when I hit raid. No!